All right.
Good evening. Was it Wednesday?
Yes,
Is this Wednesday?
it's Wednesday.
Yeah, we're coming up on the middle of November already.
I know.
And you know what that means? That means this year is about wrapped up. Real quick, we're going to go into Thanksgiving. We're going to Christmas, New Year's, all the holiday stuff. They already put the Christmas stuff out before Halloween, and it's even ramped up higher now since they got rid of the Halloween stuff. Just totally. I haven't seen any Thanksgiving stuff. Have you?
I have not seen any Thanksgiving stuff.
Put your face over there so I can look at that pretty face. All right. So anyway, middle of the holiday season, we got a lot of things coming up. Kat and I have been asked to host the Courtyard in Alabaster's annual Dirty Santa affair. So if that's the case, then there will be Elf doing tarot card reading. I assume we got Dark in there. Um,
Yes, I'm doing the I'm
Sharing.
making sure sharing everything.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'll probably come as the Grinch in a kilt to do some magic and host. We'll see how. We don't have a date yet. Probably Friday, or maybe tomorrow. Catherine and I'll go talk to Dawn up there and see if we're coming up with anything because it's going to come up on us real quick. Anyway, Kat started this, I guess, now a couple of weeks ago, and every night she might have missed one or night somewhere, but pretty much every night she's doing at least an hour of anything from tarot card reading to spirit radio sessions, and had some very phenomenal one night, and I was here with her. I'm not here with her 100% of the time, but that night they were talking about who?
Betty White
Your
was
favorite
one
lady?
night.
Huh?
Betty White was one
Betty
night.
White, and I swear to God, it was her voice that came through over and over and over. I don't remember what night that was, but it's in the archives on Abnormal Alabama. And if you hadn't joined us on Facebook, post all kind of weird, strange, and quirky stuff on Abnormal Alabama Facebook, so you can join us over there. So, what do we do? What do all these ghost hunters do? These quote unquote paranormal researchers, these people that do these EVP sessions, these spirit box sessions, and have all these gadgets of this cat balls and everything else. What are we doing? The reality is we're chasing dead people. And I'm wording this different than what you're accustomed to hear because I want, people to think about what we're doing. That's all. Given our self-awareness and our ego, we are the species on this planet that is acutely aware of our pending death. All of us, we know death is around us. We recognize death in a way that no other life form does. Not that other life form can't kind of mourn and that sort of thing, but we deal with it in a very self-aware way, and so it becomes, and it has historically in recorded history been very important for us to. We want to have some kind of hope. We want to find some answers. What happens after death? And basically, that's what some people get into ghost hunting, and some people get into paranormal research. Not so much to look for answers, but it's a hobby, and they're not really learning any more than what's already been known. And they're making, in my opinion, a lot of assumptions about what they're hearing and seeing and experiencing. So whatever we've got Carol Main up here. Welcome. Haunted dolls. Yes, there. Kevin is not with us tonight. He's got a house full of haunted dolls. Kat, you've got some haunted dolls over there?
I do have some haunted dolls here.
You got one you'd like to present to
Sure. He's
audience?
across. Let me grab Joshua. He's across the room.
So as you bring up the subject, I was kind of introducing this broadcast tonight was what we're actually doing, and whether this is just a hobby or whether you're genuinely seeking answers. What's your reasoning behind this? A lot of people is simply entertainment and fun, and other people may be very serious about wanting to learn something. In my personal opinion, we make a lot of assumptions. there is theories about haunted dolls. What is haunting them? Why are they haunting them? And how do you know that a doll is haunted and so forth? We've had two dolls on one of our shows going back to 2019 that actually, well, came alive during the show. In other words, they moved without any outside force and on camera unexpectedly for us. So things happen. So there you go. Show it, put it up to the camera. Carol wants to see the haunted doll. That's just one. Kevin, who's not with us tonight, has a house of over 300 haunted items. Catherine has, well, I don't know how many she's got. I don't know what she's got exactly over there, but
I've
she's got
never
her own.
counted.
And do you want to tell us about that particular doll?
We did a spirit box session on this doll last week, and
You're very faint back there away from the mic.
okay, I said we did a spirit session on this doll last week or so. Been doing this every night just about for the last over a month.
So does this
And
doll have a name?
Joshua.
Joshua, do you know anything about its history?
I have to go back and listen to everything in the spirit box session, but yes, the child was about a 7 or 8 year old little boy that passed away, and I've had him for about a year now.
So what are your plans for this evening?
We are going to do a spirit box session, and we can do another one on Joshua.
Okay, so there are a lot of big YouTube channels that have really millions of followers, and every time a entertainer, a well-known person passes away or dies, they within 2 or 3 days are doing a spirit box session. They did it with Betty White. They did it with Leslie Jordan. They probably, I would say, by now have started doing it for Jeff Cook. And Jeff Cook was one of the founding members of Group Alabama from Fort Payne, Alabama. And he was 73 years of age, passed away Monday, passed away at his home in Destin, Florida. And Catherine and I had just been down, and we were sitting in the water right outside of his mansion there at Miramore Beach in Destin. And that's where he died, surrounded by his closest friends and his loved ones, his family. So I don't know if anything will come through on him. I know Betty White came through real strong. I mean, and like I said, it's hard for me to put identifiers on it, but clearly the voice that came through certainly sounded like Betty White. So Joshua is in the chair there with Catherine, and I'm going to let her get started with what she's going to do as we seek to communicate with the other side.
Oh, darling Carol, I have so many haunted items. I don't have enough rooms to put them all in. I got pictures, I've got photos, I've got dolls and clocks and books and just all sorts of neat little items. I would have to have a million rooms to put it all in. I am going to turn the spirit box on. So many haunted items. It didn't connect to the Bluetooth.
Worked up.
Worked up. There it goes.
I think. Okay, Susan.
Who's in here with us tonight?
It's all right.
This case.
Fabulous. They're go.
Josh, I'm gonna sit you on your box over there. You always like to sit on your box.
Irreverent.
He gets warm as he's talking.
William.
He's very active tonight. Give him a few moments and he'll start making
The toys.
The toys. And we'll be able to understand more of what he's saying.
So the automatic.
Automatic. I meant to grab a pen and
Work for something.
work for something.
Just one.
Just one
That you try to find.
that you try to find. I needed a pen and piece of paper so I could write down all the stuff that it says.
Freaked out.
Yeah, I know. I hate
Here.
getting cold. Who else is here in the house tonight?
On this.
Sight.
Sorry. Are you?
People are one.
Sorry, Bradford. People are one.
Okay.
Because.
Because 100. Oh, you.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Is not. You'll handle the.
Begin with.
What's that?
Like 30.
Not.
Music is always yes.
Out.
You want a location on Summer Wells?
I found that. It's a jet.
People don't just disappear.
I'm probably. Quick girls. Yeah.
I'll check in on that case every now and then.
concerns. Conservative.
That's tough.
Missing people cases are hard for me. I have a cousin, Jordan, that's missing too.
At the vet. In the World
I don't know. This Carol is asking, can you please give me a location on Summer Wells?
Yes.
So
Summer Wells is a 5 or 6-year-old kid that's missing in Tennessee.
okay, you're still so far away from your mic, it's hard to hear you.
Summer Wells is a 5 or 6-year-old kid that's missing in Tennessee.
5 or 6-year-old kid has gone missing.
Yes. But it's been a little over a year.
Missing since June 15th. They have a website. It's, yeah, Summer Wells.
Hey, deal. Around.
I don't want to do it. Kids are hard. Speak. If you know where Summer Wells is, tell us.
Increase.
Go from running and walking.
Things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to interpret it. There was your answer.
What did it say?
I don't know. I'm not going to interpret it.
Okay, you're not asking just to say what it says, not interpreting.
Okay. It's the first year.
So like it's been
It's the first year. Yes. To keep her.
Then your call.
What?
I don't know. Baby. You hear it? It's sassy.
More information.
It's what?
Jules, calm down.
In this grass ring.
I know. Just don't bother the dogs or the cats.
That's the reason.
I'm the reason and music. You're the reason.
about
You're the reason the dog and cat started acting up. Are you being a jokester?
And how
I am and have been.
We know
You like to play with the dog and cat? What was that?
It isn't typical.
It isn't typical.
it's only going to play pop.
Slow down. Don't catch what you're saying.
Reflect. .com.
.com.
One. Actual.
Natural.
40.
I would like to think that Summer Wells is being treated well
On my
because the person that has her
It was a non.
was hiding her, keeping her, thinking they were keeping her safe.
Are we still talking about Summer Wells?
Your favorite.
Yes.
Okay. Turn the spirit box down or something for a moment. I've been reading on the official site to find summerwells.com, reading the story because I honestly personally never heard the story. It seems like Summer Wells was a name. Maybe I heard it somewhere. But in reading it, I find an issue with part of the story that raises, I don't know, it raises a question. In the story, there's a camper that I guess grandma lived in that was within just, on the property where the house was, put it that way. And you could see the house from the doorway of the camper. Anyway, without going into further detail, you can check that out for yourself. The part that I'm having issue with in this story is that the person that wrote this, the mother, is the one. Candace Bly Wells is the mother of Summer Wells. And I was reading along the story, and then this caught my attention because I think I know better than what she's claiming. She says, I looked everywhere I could. First of all, she walked and watched Summer go into the house where I guess her brothers, if I read that right, were
Yes.
there. So watch her for a moment, and I got to go fix grandma's brace. And she never saw Summer leave the house, but she saw Summer enter the house. She did not walk back out that front door. So I went down there and I searched and I looked everywhere I could. Then I went through the house. I kept calling for her, yelling for her, everything. I came out here outside yelling for her, everything else, and she was nowhere. So I called Don, who I assume is her husband, because I was freaking out. I said, I can't find Summer. Get home now. He was like, call 911. Okay, now here's the issue. So I dropped my phone because I had to run over and get Mom's phone and call 911 because her AT&T phone is the only one that works out here to call 911. That's impossible. First of all, if she's able to call her Don, I assume her husband, on her phone, even an inactive cell phone will let you call 911.
That is correct.
And so there's a big and red flag, and I don't know what to make of that, and it don't make sense.
Well, this has got a lot of theories behind it that the parents did hurt
The parents what?
That the parents hurt the child.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going that far with it. I was just simply saying that there's a huge question. So, I don't know that I know enough about cell phones to understand that if you've got a phone, I've got a phone laying on my desk that has no service. But anywhere, it don't even have to be an AT&T. If there's any cell service in the area, no matter who the carrier is, and you've got a phone that does not have service, it will let you make a 911 call off of any tower. But to heighten that experience here, she was using a phone that had service because she was talking to Don, I'm assuming her husband or significant other. And if she's able to talk to him on her cell phone, clearly that phone was capable of calling 911. I'm not aware of any situation with a cell phone that you could make a call on it and not be able to call 911. That is very highly unusual. I'm not even going to say suspicious. To me, it would be a red flag if I were an investigator.
I'm
So-
enjoying this. Let's keep going through that.
You want me to continue to read this?
Yes, I do.
So I called them, and this is after she claims she went back to get her mom's phone in the camper because AT&T. So I called them and told them what's going on. Before the cops even came out, I went down and told my neighbors, "Summer's missing. Will you help me look?" Just in case she did wander off. Well, there again, that raises another question. She said that she did not exit through the front door. She could see the front door. And there's two, I guess, brothers. Was it two brothers in the house?
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of reading over, but the boys, she didn't say they were brothers. She just said the boys. So she could see the boys at a table. And it's like, okay. And anyway, Summer's missing. Will you help me look? Just in case she did wander off. But I knew in the back of my mind she's never wandered off. She never went nowhere without me. Boy, her English sucks. I'm sorry. She'll ask me to do something before she even goes and does it. And she's scared to go in the woods herself because we've told her time and again because of bears and snakes. I sent the older boys down through the creek. If they got a walkie-talkie in their buck knife, they can go down there, down through there. I sent all of them searching, and I went out to my mom's truck and went all the way down by the church. Then we went all the way down the other way, and I didn't see nobody even out and about. Then I went all the way back in the holler as far as the truck can go, and I didn't see nothing back in there either. I'm reading hers word for word here, so that's not my wording. When I was coming back up out of the holler, the cops were coming up in my driveway. So I just followed them up in there. I don't recall if Don was here before the police got here or if he was here at the same time they showed up. We searched everywhere we could possibly search. They went out here for 3 or 4 days straight, searching 5,000 acres. They searched all this mountain terrain all the way down through here. They smile to put on a good show, but other than that, I know they're really upset. They ask me every day, "Is Summer coming home today?" I can't answer that. I don't know. I find myself sitting out her, supposed to be here, until midnight or 1 o'clock at night, just hoping maybe that whoever took her or whatever happened, she'll come wandering back up the driveway to us. I can't answer. I can't answer. This has been over a year ago. There's some updates. The most recent update on this site that I find is August 3rd of this year. And that was a letter to Summer. That really wasn't an update. She's got a picture where she had a head full of shaggy hair, and then she's got 3 pictures here where the girl's hair was pretty much shaved. Not quite shaved, but unless she's got it tied in the back, it's very short.
It's shaved.
It looks shaved. So there's been all kind of people posting theories. I'm not going to post a theory. I'll just bring it up what looks to me to be a questionable thing. Okay, the biggest questionable thing is the 911 call that looks highly suspicious. Suspicious of what? I don't know. Um, due to the wording, the way this was written, I have to say that these probably not the most educated people, good country people, not knocking anybody, but just trying to determine maybe it's all innocent, and this Candace Bly Wells is just very non-techie, if you know what I'm saying, and don't know. But I just, I do know that it's not common that any of us have to call 911. Very rare in our lives does that ever happen. So it may be an innocent thing on her part. I don't know if she was questioned about that. I would think that and police investigators would have been interested in that comment. But then again, I don't know. I don't even know where this happened.
Somewhere in Tennessee.
Tennessee? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Tennessee is TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. That's correct. Country, for sure. She described the terrain, so they were not in an urban area. And so they're raising money, donors. They got a reward fund. She's posted letters to Summer. I mean, that's just, as far as I'm concerned, an emotional thing, because all this time later, you can't say that this Summer Wells is dead. You can't say anything about Summer Wells because nobody knows anything about this. And the act of the moment she disappeared raises a lot of questions in my eyes. But I'm not the investigator. I'm not there. She's written letters. She's posted the Don Wells letter, the father, I guess, letters to Summer and those guilty, which I don't know what that means. So he's assuming somebody's kidnapped her, I guess. I said I can't find Summer. Get home now. Age 5. She turned 6 on February 4th, 2022, means that on February the 4th of 2023, she'll be 7. Of course, female. She's white, blonde eyes. Blonde hair, blue eyes. 3 feet. She's probably grown some in a year. 40 pounds. Probably weighs a little bit more. Excuse me. Pardon me. Rogersville, Tennessee, which is up northeast Tennessee, which is we used to own property up there, very isolated area, not even where we had a little property up there, no cell service. And so, like I said, I find some suspicion about stuff, but I can't, I'm not the investigator, so I don't know everything. That just brought to my attention. There's a whole wall of pictures of this girl on here, and there's flyers you can download, and they've got the number to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and so forth. So that's the story of the day that she came up missing, as told by the mother of Summer Wells. They've got a tips email. What are people emailing? Secondary, let's see. Email for fact-based tips to find. They don't give any details there. They turned off all communicating on there, so they're not letting people share anything there. Bottom line is, after this period of time, I would say that they've learned nothing. That's all I can say. They just basically learned nothing. I don't see anything to indicate that they've learned anything. That's the view from Grandma Candy's trailer. Okay, this is where the mother was, and she was sitting on the doorstep of this trailer, and let's see where you see the house. The truck is blocking that, and you can see the back of it. You can see the front of the house. There's the trailer. So really and truly, this little house is closer to Grandma's trailer than you are to your mother's house. You understand?
Yeah.
It is very close. As what she's saying is that she can't see the basement door. It's a very isolated piece of property. It's not, there's nothing around it but woods and rough terrain, if you will. They're very what I call earthy people. The house that they keep referring to looks pretty rough. I mean, the outside, there's no siding on it. It just looks like plywood on the back side of it. There's a dog trail in the back of the property that she stopped to zoom in on there. So this is interesting, and it raises more questions than answers. Everything I'm seeing, I don't know, and nobody knows what. The authorities are not going to just start throwing out accusations toward family members and that sort of thing until they have something concrete. And I'm sure they have questioned these people the way I understand that investigations go. I don't know when this site was started, but I mean, literally, views that she's showing for her either phone or camera here. This is, it's not near a main street. It's very rough land. The property itself is very run down. There's trash everywhere. Even though there's a beautiful view. There's one side of the house that had siding. The other side had no siding. Now they're walking down this dog trail, which is not much of a trail that goes down through the woods on the back side. And some of the things they're zooming in on, I don't have a clue why they zoomed in on that. It says warning, premises protected by 24-hour video surveillance. It's possible. I don't see it. They're not offering any. I'll go back and see. Could have gone down driveway though. It'd be very interesting to see how this plays out. Of all the videos they've got, it says they've got a sign that says video surveillance, but they offer no surveillance video. And to look at the property, you would think, I just don't think that they would. It's not the kind of property you think is going to actually have some video. I'm sorry, not being mean, I'm being real. You look at this property, and it's like they don't have. If they've got money, they're not spending it. How's that? It's a pretty rough-looking place, and they claim they had some. There's nothing here to offer any surveillance. I do have a drone. Somebody did a drone footage, and home property. This is, I mean, from everything I'm seeing, this property is very isolated. You would have to be looking for this place to find it. It's not going to sneak up on you. You're not just going to drive by and find it. So let me watch this drone footage and get an aerial shot here. Very wooded. And you know anything about Rogersville, Tennessee? Right up there in the Smoky Mountains is very, very hilly. It's off of Ben Hill Road, and you cannot see the property from Ben Hill Road. You see a drive going up there. It's a winding drive, so from the road you would literally, you would have to know. You're not just going to just happen upon this and know there's a little girl up there. You would have to be in the know. You'd have to know the property. Now the drone is going up and above the trees. This may have been a recent video. Yeah, this is kind of up on the side of a hill. And it's surrounded by trees. I mean, you just, like I said, the drive kind of goes up a hill, and the drive goes all the way around the property. The house and the trailer sits on the far end of it. The main road is on the back side. There's another road that comes around. I mean, You're not going to sneak up on this. You're not just going to be driving down the road and say, "Ooh, there's a little girl. I think I'll nab up on her." There's no way. And the mother insisted that she wasn't the type of girl that would just wander off. If she had wandered off, there's other homes just on the other side of the trees down the hill. It's isolated, but it's not isolated to the point where somebody would have seen her.
Where does the dog trail go?
Just off in the woods. It didn't complete it. I mean, it's surrounded by woods. You got to drive. You know what? I'm being silly because I could stop this and start it, and let's just show this. How's that? Let me share this. I'm being silly. See this we're talking about, and thanks Carol Lane for bringing this to our attention. So let's just let everybody look at this. I'm certainly not. Let's see if that's the one. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. You see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So you as you watch this, you just tell me what you think, what you see. Clearly somebody laid that poster there in the driveway for this drone footage.
Is there any sound on it?
I'm sorry, no. It's just a drone. Drones don't have sound. But they threw some words up there. And it's going to go way up in the air in a minute. You get a better view of what's going on. But you see the road. That's the drive. You see the mailbox there. You cannot see the property from the road, as you can tell. It's a mailbox, but there's no way you can see the property. Now here we go up. Well, you're in a total dark up there, Kev. See all that foliage? See all that? And you go wind around up that hill. They're like on top of a little hill there. And there's the property. There's the house, and the camper is that white right behind the house. That's how close the camper is. That's closer than you are to your mother on the property you sit on. But you get up.
You see that back door that she can't see? And the driveway's right there?
Yeah. But she would have known a car. Up there, you're going to hear a car. There's no other reason for a vehicle to be up there.
But listen to me. You're going to see a car. But a person can sneak.
That's a long walk. And she claims that she noticed her missing. Go back and read the story again. That's a long walk for anybody to walk up that drive and snatch somebody. And they also claim, as I said before, that they've got video surveillance over the property, but they're not offering any of that on their website anyway. But look how far somebody had to walk. See that drive going down from that property? Right over there to the right. You can't even see the drive now. But it's just like it's not clearly, I can't say it's impossible, but I'm seeing a lot of improbables. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I know that on my street, and I'm surrounded by houses, I know when a car comes down my cul-de-sac. And I live in a nice home that's well insulated. You know what I'm saying? And especially if I'm at a door, you know what I'm saying? And you're up there. I know isolated areas. Nobody's going to sneak up on that property. Now, it didn't say anything about dogs. I don't know if they had pets, dogs, or anything. I guess this is an abandoned building that was near the property, for whatever that's worth. Why they're showing that, I don't know. That makes to me no sense to be showing that, but whatever. I assume that Summer Wells grew up on this property.
I'm assuming so too. So
Warning, premises protected by 24, and that's now what are you saying?
I'm assuming she grew up on this property, but I'm saying
I can see how people would come to a theory that family involvement was involved. I can see that clearly why people would come to that conclusion. Again, I'm not an investigator. This is the first I've looked into this case, and I'm only saying on the surface, I see things that if I were the investigator, I'd have a lot of questions. See that drive going up there?
I do.
That's a long walk. And she says that as soon as she didn't find the daughter up around there, that she went down that drive to neighbors' houses in her mother's truck.
There was some kind of truck that was on that was supposed to be on the road that they saw that day.
Well, there's other people who live out there, but look at this. See that? They keep showing that sign. They keep showing that sign. But there's been no video from such offer, period.
There was something about a special way that there was to get downstairs.
I have a very difficult time believing that the little girl just wandered off, number one. I assume that she lived her entire 5 or 6 years on this property and was very familiar with the property. The house that she went to, where these two boys, I assume her brothers, were, she would have to come in and go down to the basement and come out that door. That would be the only way, according to the mother, that she would be able to leave the house without being seen from her grandmother's camper. Again, if there'd been any vehicles that came up in here, they would have known. I mean, without any surveillance cameras, you're not going to live in a condition like that without knowing something as far as intrusion of strangers. I don't see any indication of any dogs, which is a shame because dogs would have given warning signs. If she went down a path, it would lead to open areas, as you saw from the aerial shot. There's that dog trail entrance they keep pointing to, and it's not a very nice trail, but they call it a trail entrance. Looks like it goes down. They searched all that area. I assume that in the search, they didn't find anything that would indicate that anybody had wandered through those areas. If on the main road, whatever that road was, if there was a truck out there, if somebody had noted the truck, I'd just have to assume that they would have noted the truck stayed there too long, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And to just walk up in there and snatch somebody, or just to happen to drive by and the little girl wander. It's just so strange because there are some horrible people that do snatch up on little kids, but you've got to understand that is a rarity. In most cases, the average thing is if you're driving along a road, the chances are that if somebody sees a little 6-year, 5-year-old girl, they're going to stop and say, "Where's your mama?" Because it is the minority that create a problem. It's not impossible. It's not impossible that there may be a neighbor, but one of the first things that would have happened by the police would have run a check to see if there were any convicted pedophiles in within a certain mile radius of this home. And that doesn't mean there's not a pedophile. It just means there's no convicted. See how steep that is?
Yes, but I'm sitting here thinking about a child.
I'm thinking about a child too that goes straight down to a main road where there's traffic. Well, not straight down, because there's some things in between there and the road. I'm going to assume that since the police were out there within a very short period of time, and they took on, and her husband Don was also out there, and they're all doing this search. The police especially are trained to look for signs of where people trudge through the woods or whatever, broken limbs or anything like that. Now we're going into over a year since this took place. There are farmhouses around in the vicinity. There is a road that has traffic down there. It looks like their entrance is off a side road, not on that main road. Like I said, I don't have the answers. Oh, they do have a dog. So that would be the next question I'd have is, now dogs bark. Does your dogs bark there, Cat?
Yeah.
So there was a puppy that probably indicates there's maybe even another bigger dog there or something. I don't know. These are just questions that if I were doing an investigation, I'd certainly have those questions to ask. You see, half that house does not have siding on it. That's what I was pointing out earlier. No, there's more dogs. You cannot tell me with those number of dogs that somebody came up there. Dogs are usually pretty, if the girl grew up with the dogs, those dogs would have, you know how dogs are, right?
Yeah, dogs will protect them.
They would follow him at least. You know, where are you going? We're going to go with you, right?
Correct.
I find it troubling. That's all I can say. I find it very troubling, and I'm not the investigator. I don't know what the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has on this case, clearly. But I can certainly see how a lot of people would start theorizing that there was some family involvement of some sort in this case. That's all I can say.
There were some water sports that went on just before she went missing.
Where? There's no water around the property.
They had gone somewhere shopping something.
In other words, they'd taken her away from the house.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so what they would do, to keep this in mind, is that after initial search, there'd be other investigators that come down. They would sit and they would talk to Mrs. Wells, and then they would talk to those boys in the house. And it's hard for me to believe that if something had happened at the water sports thing and the boys knew about it, I don't know how. It's not impossible for people to keep tight lips and protect each other. I'm not saying that. There's just a lot of questions, but we don't know everything that the TBI knows. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying stuff that's public that I've seen.
Yeah. So I'm lost, just like everybody else. All I know, you're in the total dark.
I know that this is a very hard topic, and I don't like doing kids because they're hard, but
all right, so you want to look at the dog trail?
yeah, I do.
Okay, let's see then. It says summer scent on the dog trail. Let's see what this has got sound on it because they're walking. So give me a second and I will pull it up. So it kind of got distracted. But this is interesting. Thank you for bringing this up. Okay, here we go.
Right there.
So I'm going to say two things here. See, there's the dogs. There's 3 dogs there. There's the dog trail. They say that her scent went down that trail, fading on the road. I don't know. I don't understand the timeline from the way that the Candace Wills wrote that. In June, the trail could be walked very quietly. This was videoed near the end of October. So the question I'd have is that she ever walked down that trail? That's very steep down to the road there. And again, it's not impossible for somebody to snatch up on a kid, but it is the odds are against, because most people, they see a little girl or a little child, they're going to say, "Where's your mom? Are you okay?" They're not going to snatch up on it. They're going to say, "Where do you live?" Only police know that. But there's that little road, the main road they live off of there. There's a lot of dogs. You would have heard dogs. I'm sorry. Hear all those dogs? Look at this.
I hear all those dogs.
So I don't care how quiet you can walk down the trail. These dogs are not going to let you go quietly. Come on. Look at them. Look at them. Look at all those freaking dogs. Was it 3, 6 of them, 7 of them, 6 of them? I got no answers, but I sure got a lot of questions.
What are those rocks that were piled up there?
That was not that was logs. That was firewood. They probably were selling it or sharing it with neighbors or something. I don't know why they keep sharing that signs that say under video surveillance, but you go to that website, there is nothing offered of video surveillance. If they truly had video surveillance, I'm sure they would have shared that. Don't you think?
Yes, and that's the one that's created by her parents, and I'm sure it doesn't have every news article that's out there on that.
Well, all I know is that it's been covered by everything from John Walsh, to Dr. Phil's done 2 shows about it. Like I said, I don't have the answers, but I sure got a lot of questions. It's not funny, but I've got a lot of freaking questions, and I'm sure that the authorities had more questions than what I have just from watching this. There are many this is on the site. There are many questions people have. You may send your questions to us to review and consider response to our website. You do not have to give your name or email address. However, we would like to see the city or state or country you live in. And then they do not offer the questions. They're not sharing those questions. And
there was a little girl pictured at one point in time, and she someone she was with stole a truck. I'm gonna send you the picture of the little girl, because you know how to figure it out, right?
Are you gonna put it on the thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you so that you can put it on there. But this little girl right here, gotta find it. I may have deleted them.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Ah, here they are. Here they are right here. I'm sending you 5 photos.
Okay, I thought you were going to send me a picture of a truck. Who is this girl?
That's a little girl that whoever she was with stole a vehicle. And I was just wondering, and the little girl down there is Summer, and I wanted you to put the pictures together and see if you think it could possibly be Summer.
Well, it's so blurry, I wouldn't even begin. And this girl is a lot taller than the little girl, I think. I would not say it's a big girl.
All right.
That's just, again, an opinion. Somebody's tried to enhance this picture, and you can't. I mean, really, you can't make anything in the picture. The hair color, of course, can be changed. I get that. But I mean, that picture's so distorted that's to me a fishing expedition. It's not by the authorities, I assure you. I doubt the authorities put that picture out. Now, this little girl, is this the Wales girl I'm looking at? It's a very clear picture.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't compare the two in any way, shape, or form. I could not compare those two. I'm not even going to download them. It's just impossible. I don't see it. If, as much as I can make out in this picture that's not clear, it doesn't even look close, in my opinion. I would never assume that was anything close to the same girl. Who put that out, by the way?
The news did.
Yeah, not impossible, but I don't see it. But that whoever tried to enhance that picture, I guess the pixels are so bad it's unenhanceable.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink.
Go grab a gun.
A drink.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about Summer Wells, who went missing from Rogersville, Tennessee, country. And let's see, in 2021, a little over a year ago, and the exact date I'm looking for again. All kind of issues going on here. Questions, a lot of questions are here. Very, very interesting stuff. And like I've said, if you've been listening to me, as I read it, everything that's being reported on this site, I see some things that jump out at me big time. Okay. I don't know if Catherine came back yet or not.
I'm coming back.
I just sharing stuff. I didn't want to get ahead of you because I want you to hear. Okay. This gets more interesting and more interesting. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Get close to your mic. The story gets more interesting by the minute. The father, as of July this year, was serving a jail sentence for DUI.
Correct.
Okay. But Child Protective Services, there were multiple calls to CPS, Child Protective Services, and valid concerns expressed, yet no steps were put in place to save Summer or her brothers. Only after Summer Wells went missing did CPS take action there and remove her 3 siblings. So after she went missing, they took the other kids away from the home. Did you know that?
I did know that.
You did?
I did.
Okay, that's very important. Are Summer Wells' parents suspects? Well, parents are always suspects in such things, but TBI officials said they had not ruled out any possibility. That was the only comment they had. This is in Hawkins County, same place we had property up there. So are these people suspect? They are suspect. Everybody's suspect and rule somebody out. And according to TBI, the way that is phrased, they've not ruled out the parents yet. The father of Summer Wells, the 5-year-old, his 3 sons have been removed from his house by Child Protective Services, saying it's probably better for them because false theories and speculation about what happened to the girl drove him to drink. So there's his side of that story. He's saying it was good the kids were taken away. Summer Wells' aunt. So a decade before Summer Wells vanished without a trace, her aunt also went missing and was never found.
Correct.
So you know more about this. You're not sharing. I wish you'd share it.
That's the reason this case interests me.
And now Summer's dad says the disappearance of Rose Bly haunts him when he thinks about his daughter. And Don is the dad, right? Is that correct?
That is correct.
So Don was at work. He wasn't around when the girl went missing, according to the mother, and I guess according to the records, because they can track cell phone usage. And I'm sure he had that. The boys, the 3 siblings that were at the home, they're now taken away, may be too afraid to cooperate with the police, if you know what I'm saying. If they were treated roughly at home, they would be living in fear, if you know what I'm saying.
Correct.
So anyway, it's an interesting case. There's no answers that we know of. There's a lot of theories.
The kids can also want to protect their parents.
Yeah, and in this case, I kind of almost think that the protecting is to protect themselves from the parent. It could be that the mother, and there again, I don't want to get in, I'm not trying to theorize. I don't have the answers. I'm trying to make it very clear. I don't know. There's just certain questions I would have. Anything is possible. Looking at the terrain and everything I'm seeing and reading, I'm questioning of an outside person being able to do this effectively. In my opinion, it don't look feasible. Is it possible? Of course, anything's possible. The 911 call is the first thing that jumped out at me. And that to me would make me want to look at the mother pretty hard. What don't make any sense, but that could have been done just out of pure ignorance. According to why, well, of course, if the Child Protective Services or anybody had issue of concern up there, maybe, but I never found this. Maybe you have, Kat. Tell me, had there been other police activity as far as anybody being called for any domestic things at that property before?
Correct. There was.
Can you give a background of any of that?
Abuse on the children, abuse on.
Was it frequent, or?
Yes, it was fairly frequent.
What was the most recent?
I don't remember that off the top of my head, but I want you to think about something. How long did it actually take Candace to realize that she was missing?
Well, it didn't really say. It didn't seem like it took long at all.
Because
in fact, when I first read the story, it was like, it sounded like she was making an assumption before she even knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I read her writing, the feeling I got was like, you jumped to a conclusion pretty quick. But I don't know. I wasn't there. Go ahead, what you're saying.
Had she gone out the back door, the mom took time to call the father, to search the house, to walk over to the mother's house, trailer, to use that phone to call 911. How long did that take? All that take for her to do all that? And
I don't. The way I read it, she didn't go into a major search around the property until after she called Don, and then Don said call 911, and she immediately put down her phone and went to Grandma's phone to call 911. Then she got in Grandma's truck and drove around and saw the police coming and followed them up the hill. That's the story I got. It didn't really give a timeline. I can only speculate as to how long that took. I just know that if she was in her house talking to her husband Don on her phone, it's only a few steps to the trailer to get the other phone. It shouldn't take it long at all. And
It should.
it sounded like the way it was worded. I wasn't there. I'm making assumptions. I get that. But it sounds like she went into an immediate panic from her wording without knowing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's just
Right.
the thing, and I'm making a judgment that I'm not really making a judgment. I just have a question that I can't answer. So I'm not into the accusation. I just don't know. I know there's red flags. I know that nobody's been charged with the disappearance of the little girl. I know that there's been no body found, and the girl has not been found alive or dead. I know that you stated that on that road there was, I guess, a unknown pickup that nobody knew who it belonged to.
Correct. And then the dog trail, and even without me knowing about the dog trail, I did not know about the dog trail, but the dog trail kept drawing me to it.
The dog trail. The dog trail. What?
Kept drawing me to it once you said the word dog trail.
Yeah, I don't. I like I said, I've got no answers, and
I have no answers either.
I mean, I don't. When I look at the terrain, I would not think, unless she was scared of her mother or something. The mother admitted that she never went anywhere without asking permission, so that's strange. I saw 6 dogs in that video, and they were barking and wreaking havoc around a person they knew. So if somebody, and this person, that video had sound, and it wasn't like whoever made the video was inviting the dogs to come. The dogs just came because it was that was what they naturally do. They follow their people. So that, to me, diminishes the dog trail theory, unless 6 dogs were in a pen and couldn't get away. And even if I just can't, the dogs bring about a big issue to me. That's all I can say.
I know.
see-
I understand.
I see a lot of red flags. I know, and when they say that her scent, what I'm not seeing on that website is any authority talking. I'm only seeing a family member making assertions. Okay. So there's no investigator from any police force that's involved in an investigation make any statements. This is simply family making statements. So I have nothing except for a family member stating that her scent disappeared down that trail. I don't, is that valid? You'd have to ask the TBI. I don't know. But I know that the investigating authorities, as far as I've seen in my short little time researching this, have made no statement. And you're asking me, under everything I'm seeing, to put credence in anything the family is saying, when there are a lot of suspicious things going on around this whole story. The 911 call, the fact that there has been domestic issues on that property, the fact that immediately, based on previous complaints to the CPS, the other 3 siblings were taken away. So,
Okay, so I've got a timeline of on WATE. It came from, but it only goes up to 2021.
okay, timeline as far as the investigation. What's the timeline?
Yes.
So who put that timeline? That's just the timeline of things being reported by a news source.
Right.
You want to
Correct.
share verbally
Correct.
that timeline with us?
All right.
What part of 2021 does it go to?
Yes. Okay. Hold on. It goes to May
Chaley,
2022.
just a quick greeting to Chaley, said hello. We're talking about the Summer Wells disappearance in Rogersville, Tennessee. Go, and Catherine's going to share a timeline shared by one of the news sources.
May 2022. Kingsport Police is not the lead investigative agency in the Wells case, but they are trained on equipment being used in the search for Summer Wells. Officers demonstrated how drones are used to find missing people. Okay. April of 2022. Hawkins County Sheriff's Office detectives John Pruitt, the lead investigators in the Summer Wells case, spoke about the case for the first time. Self-proclaimed investigators and social sleuths have turned the case into a mess of ideas that has brought tips from across. In other words, we just want facts. We don't want our theories.
Absolutely. And people in social media, there are many groups, even there's whole YouTube channels about people that dig into such cases and come up with theories. I want to present to everybody as us talking about this case. I've just got questions. I'm not suggesting anything. In fact, I cannot validate everything I'm reading. I know what's being said, and I don't know who in these cases have said it, because the police so far, is that right, Catherine? The police so far have been very quiet about it?
Well, not really. I mean,
Okay, what did they share?
Okay, March 2022. Do you want me to go back from the
I just
beginning?
want to know, what you said is not really shared anything. What facts is being shared with the public that you can find?
Okay, hold on. I'm going back. I'm going down to the beginning.
So, yeah, I understand, and I read the same thing on the website, that there's so much theory and crap going on that is confusing a lot of things, and they're wasting a lot of time. So,
Okay, June of 2021. Summer Wells is missing. She's a 5-year-old, 4 foot tall, blonde hair, last seen wearing a pink shirt and gray pants, said Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson on June 15th. Just a few hours after Summer was reported missing around 6:30 p.m. that night. That late night announced launched a massive ground search at first light the next day. With the sleep.
Okay, so that's saying they did not start a search until the next morning.
Correct.
Or at least a major search.
Correct.
Go ahead. I just wanted to verify that.
With the steep and dangerous terrain, we are also experiencing very dense canopy coverage, including very dense ground coverage, causing search efforts to be very difficult, said Captain Tim Coop of the Churchill Rescue Squad, who served as the incident commander of search operations during the extensive weeks-long ground search. Hold on, I got to move the mouse down just a little bit.
Okay. So bottom line is, of that date, there's nothing to announce. That's what you're reading. There's nothing new, nothing's transpired. They found nothing. I'm finding something here that October the 19th, 22, over a year's passed, and they still not found what happened to her, or if she's still alive. So it sounds like the police don't know anything.
No, they haven't.
Hello?
I'm just reading the facts of the event.
Wait, okay, who's
Okay. You broke up.
I stopped because I thought you were saying something.
All right. Summer's father, Don Wells, spoke with News Channel about the disappearance of his daughter, revealing that he believes some bad person grabbed her. Daily media briefings continued for 10 consecutive days. While every case is different, this one is definitely outside of the norm, said Tennessee Bureau of Investigation spokesperson Leslie Earhart on June 24th at the agency's final press conference. Typically, in an investigation like this one, we have done some idea of where the case is headed and what might have happened within a few days. Two days later, on June 26th, the TBI announced they were searching for a late model red Tacoma truck seen in the area at the time that Summer went missing. The agency stressed the driver was not a suspect, but a potential witness.
Okay, so is that the truck you were talking about earlier?
It is.
Okay, so the truck is out of question now because it's not a suspect, but a possible witness.
Right. This is the beginning of the case. Okay.
What date did she go missing, and what date is this report?
This is the very first. This is the whole. I'm doing the whole month.
Okay, do you know the exact date she went missing?
I do not. I do not know the exact date.
Okay, so she disappeared on June the 15th of 2021, somewhere around 6:30 in the evening. So what date are you reading this report from?
Okay, this is on June 28th.
Okay, so it would have been 13 days later. And who gave this report?
WATE.
Wait TV.
Mm-hmm. On June 28th, News Channel 11 heard from Summer Wells' mother for the first time. Candace Bly's only daughter had been missing almost 2 weeks. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers, and we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, Bly told News 11 in her first on-camera interview. And she wanted to go back over and see her brothers, and I said, okay. And I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walking into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple of times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went downstairs there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. Bly told News 11 she believed Summer had been abducted. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray they haven't harmed her and that they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Okay, go ahead.
The same day Candace spoke on camera, the reward fund was finalized through the Churchill Rescue Squad. Authorities also closed the active search.
Okay, so that's within 13 days. The active search had been canceled. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move well forward into this year, April the 5th of 2022. Rogersville, Tennessee, the same news source, WATE, which is a legitimate news source. In February, Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson told News Channel 11 that the Wells family had lawyers and was not cooperating. The lead investigator for the Summer Wells case explained how that and the fact Summer's father is in jail on unrelated charges have been factors in the investigation. The family has attorneys involved, and that is not a direct line of communication, said Detective John Pruitt with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. That tone is quite the change from what it was last year when Summer was first reported missing in June. It was pretty good, he recalled. We would show up about every day and make sure they were okay. We had a decent line of communication with them. About a month later, in July of 2021, Child Protective Services removed Summer's 3 older brothers from their home and appointed attorneys to the case. They have been appointed for other instances, but it bleeds over into the investigation as well, Pruitt explained. When asked about Summer's father, Don Wells, being in jail on unrelated charges, Pruitt said that played no role in the investigation. On February 7th, a judge ordered Don Wells to serve the remainder of his 11-month 29-day sentence in Hawkins County Jail for driving under the influence and violation of his probation. With Mr. Wells, he knows when he first came into the institution, he knows that anytime he wants to talk, to let their staff know, and I'll get to him as quick as I can, Pruitt said. The lines of communication between me and the family have changed, but I hope that they understand that they can come to talk to me at any time they want. So basically, within a year of this happening, the family shut down all communication after the kids, the three brothers, were taken from the home. Let's see, Wake TV. Let's go to June. I'm finding recent ones here. June the 23rd. Wait, let's go there. All right. So I'm trying to get the most recent updates. This is June of, no, that's 2021. I want 2022. I'm sorry. I looked at that wrong. Here's one, June of 2022. Anything, there's really nothing that I'm finding newer than June of this year. Have you found anything yet?
No, June is the newest I've found.
Okay, so it's been 1 year since Summer Wells was last seen at her home in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. No one's been charged in the disappearance of the now 6-year-old girl. There haven't been any leads and no tangible evidence on the whereabouts since she was reported missing on June 15, 2021. However, there are several people involved in the situation. First, there are Summer's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly. Together, they have 3 boys and Summer. As of Wednesday, Don is in jail for violating his probation. This stems from DUI charges in fall of 2021. He's been in front of the camera the most. His wife, on the other hand, hasn't been on camera much, only once with News Channel 11 and Dr. Phil. Last July, Child Protective Services removed Summer's older brothers from the home. Both Candace and law enforcement have stated that they were the last to see the little girl. Their grandmother, Candace's mother, was also one of the last to see Summer, spending the entire day with her. Summer's grandmother, also named Candace, has dealt with a family member disappearing before. Her daughter and Summer's aunt, Rosemarie Bly, hasn't been seen since she went missing in 2009 from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. The Wells family are Seventh-day Adventists and attend church in Kingsport. Outside of the family, Summer was best known by church members, her Sabbath school teacher, Robin Lane, and family friend, David Dodson. After Summer had been missing for several weeks, community members like Timmy Etherton organized weekly prayer circles. Some of them were even attended by Summer's family. Also helping the family are private investigators and media manager Tim Mullen. Both Mullen and the investigators are local to the Tri-Cities region. All of these people, along with the Sheriff's Office, TBI, FBI, and hundreds of searchers, are those with the most vested interest in finding Summer. The area where Summer went missing has a river and 1 2-lane road that runs through the length of the county. If it wasn't through the woods, it was by that road that she left, since the road connects Beach Creek Road to anywhere. Beach Creek is the butt ends of both Hawkins and Sullivan County. It is a quiet, rural area with mountainous terrain, farms, and several churches. Now, again, I'm going to go back to this. It would be highly unusual, highly improbable that somebody's just going to happen upon this little girl and snatch her up.
Correct.
Considering everything. It would almost, in my opinion, without knowing anything but what I'm reading, it would almost seem most likely that it was somebody that knew the little girl and knew where she lived and knew the terrain and so forth. Clearly, the girl has not been kept alive by anybody local, because those communities, as you and I well know, are very connected.
Correct.
Anybody at this point in time that saw that little girl, you couldn't keep her hid over a year now. What, almost a year and a half?
Correct.
Highly improbable. You notice I didn't use the word impossible. I said improbable. Anything's possible. I'm not making an assertion. I'm not making a theory. I'm just talking about possibilities. It could go this way, could go that way. Yes, even the TBI says the parents have not been ruled out. I would say especially the mother has not been ruled out. The interesting thing, and maybe Kat knows the answer to this, what was the age of those 3 boys?
I don't remember. We can find out.
See if you can find out, because would any of them or all of them have been old enough to do something with the little girl? And I'm approaching this the way I believe any investigator would. I'm not making accusations. I'm asking questions. And you have to go and rule out people. So you go through the line, the last ones that saw her, mother, grandmother, the boys, and you have to interview all of them, and they would interview all of them separately, and they would compare stories and notes that each of them told. And clearly they interviewed neighbors. That's how they found out about this truck that Kat keep mentioning. And I guess they even tracked down who was driving the truck and said that they were a potential witness, but had no other interest.
The brothers. I don't want to give the brothers a name for them. They were ages 9 and
Okay. You're cutting in and out. You're cutting
I'm
in
not
and out.
brothers.
Huh?
That I am not going to give out.
If you're reading it on the internet, you have nothing to hide because it's there. Okay.
Let my internet cat.
Okay. You've got connection issues. You want to try to talk again?
All right, let me come out, go out, and come back in.
Okay.
Are you trying? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can now. You were having a rough time there for a minute.
Okay. All right. The brothers are 7 at the time.
8 and what? I heard 8 and 7.
12, 9, and 7.
Okay. So clearly
12, 9.
I heard that. You're not listening to me now. They were old enough, what I was about to say, that they could have done something. Okay. That doesn't mean they did. I'm just saying that you have to say, well, they weren't toddlers. They were all older. She was the young one. She was 5 at the time, and all the brothers were older, and one of them in their teens. So you can't rule them out because of their age. They certainly, if I were to look at it, like I said, again, I don't know. I don't have all the information. I don't know what the TBI knows. I know that they certainly don't have enough information to charge anybody. It could be they have suspicions and they're hoping to find a body. I don't know. And so far, they're not saying.
Well, here is this is a study, whatever, on the boys. Johnson City, Tennessee. As media descended on a chaotic scene following Summer Wells' June 15, 2021 disappearance at searched Hawkins County Beach Creek, wondered anxiously about what would happen. They were Summer's older brothers, ages 12, 9, and 7 at the time. Those are ages when processing traumatic events and grief is even more difficult than it is for adults. A marriage and family therapist told Channel 11 News Wednesday. Children are often forgotten grievers, Julie Burke said. People don't recognize that children's coping as something that a child is grieving, so that they will act out with anger, misbehavior, things that you would think, why are they acting that way? After the trauma of Summer Wells' disappearance, her brother's difficulties weren't over. In the days immediately following the disappearance, church friends tried to keep the boys' spirits up aimed the spotlight's glare on the family and what one family friend described as negativity from people online and in person. David Dotson told News 11 of taking the boys to play miniature golf and Kingsport to give them a break from the busy scene around their home as search and rescue teams and agents combed the property. Dotson mentioned someone there that made a comment that wasn't very polite. Sufficient to be removed from their parents' care by the Tennessee Department of Children's Services and placed in state custody. Burke multiple emotional blows as complex trauma. Children typically can't be expected to process and share their emotions the same way adults do. I can tell you my heart's broken. I'm feeling sad or I'm really ticked off because, I'm missing this person or whatever, Burke said. A child doesn't always have the tools yet or experience of life to understand and how to cope with that in a healthy way. She said the lack of full development make therapies all the more important. Play therapy is excellent for young children, Burke says. I get the kids are doing that kind of stuff in my sessions when they're dealing with this kind of loss, and it helps them to feel that, like they are able to express themselves in ways they can't verbally.
Okay, what's that got to do? I mean, I don't understand. I'm lost there. I know you're talking about the boys, I guess. And
Yes, I was just trying to read it to see if we were finding any, if they gave anything.
and what's the date of that
detail.
reading? What date was that put out?
I can't remember.
You look at the top of the article, or scroll up, it usually tells you the date it was published.
June 15th, 2022.
Okay, so that's a year later.
I was just trying to see if
Go ahead.
I was just kind of combing through to see if
I can already tell you publicly, nothing's been released of any weight to point any direction anywhere. So I was just curious as to how the boys were, if they were capable, if they were old enough to be capable. And that don't mean that they had any reason or did anything. It was just a question. I'm not making an accusation. I'll say that over and over and over. I'm just trying to piece together everything that the police would have pieced together. And I'm not saying, everybody's a suspect in that area. Now,
right.
She disappeared in the summertime when the foliage was very thick. And the search, aerial search would have been hard because the area was blanketed. You couldn't, it'd been a very difficult search. It happened at 6:30 in the evening, did not give them much daylight hours, maybe a couple of hours more of daylight tops. And so a diligent search by the right people did not take place until daylight the next morning. Now, then not a lot took back. They scaled back, I think, according to something Kat shared, they scaled it back within about 13 days, the search. But then I find that in November of 2021, they sent a heavy team to do some more searching, and they chose November because the foliage was leaving. The search would have been easier. They could have dug deeper. The article reads, authorities have returned to Beech Creek months after scaling back efforts in search for the missing Rogersville 5-year-old Summer Wells. According to TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Public Information Officer Leslie Earhart, the return is part of a planned search to take advantage of winter weather. They could see more. Earhart emphasized there are no new developments in the Summer Wells case. The heavy police presence stems from new search efforts as the cold season brings less foliage to the area. Today, teams will be focusing on overgrown areas that were previously difficult to access due to high grass and heavy foliage. Several other law enforcement agencies are assisting. But they even took cadaver dogs utilized in that search, which they had done in the past. So they said that search, everything we're hearing here, and everything we're coming across over a year later, they still don't have any tangible evidence. Clearly, have not found a body. Nobody's been charged in the case. So the reality is, there's only suspicions of what may have happened to the little girl. And any comments I'm making, I'm not making accusations. I'm just raising questions. So I'm not sitting here being a conspiracy theorist saying, oh, woo, woo. I'm just saying, well, there's a possibility of this, and there is a possibility of that, and the TBI has not ruled out this or that.
Well, they didn't do an actual search till the next morning at daybreak.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. Like 6.
Yes, correct. So let me ask you a question. Don't we have technology now for like infrared cameras?
Yeah, but when you got that kind of thick foliage, you know what I'm saying? You got thermal cameras and whatnot, but of course they're in an isolated area. I don't know what those police forces up there had access to that night. The TBI probably had access to it, but were they able to get it out that quick? You understand what I'm saying? I don't know, though. I don't have the answers to those. In Rogersville, Tennessee, they might have had to bring something in from Knoxville. They might have not had anything local, and they might not have been able to do anything. Ground search. If it's a body, you're not going to find it with those kind of tools because the heat is gone.
Correct.
So if she was dead, and that they've got cadaver dogs, at this point it would have made no difference, because even in that November search, they came up empty-handed. Okay, so backtracking, hindsight's 50-50, what I say. Bottom line is, now we know that even if they had searched all night long with dogs and flashlights, they still wouldn't found nothing.
They still would have not found a body.
No. So that wouldn't have made a difference. But as you know, because we used to go camping up in that area, that's wilderness. That's wilderness. I don't know what that river was. That could be the same river that we had that property on, which is kind of a rapids, if you know what I'm saying. But in the aerial shots, it wasn't like they were just right next door to the river. It might have been close, but it certainly didn't show up in none of those aerial shots from that drone. So it wasn't like it was in their backyard or just next door. So again, everything, and we're being internet sleuths. We're just taking the information that's been given out on the internet, trying to dissect just the facts. The facts is that somewhere between 6 and 6:30, the girl came up missing. The mother noted the girl was missing, and she claims that she was talking to Don, her husband, on a cell phone, and that she couldn't dial 911 from her cell phone, so she goes to her mother's camper to use her AT&T cell phone. That raised a flag to me. I don't understand that, but whatever. I don't have any answers. It just doesn't sound. I thought you could dial 911 from any phone, especially if you've got service on it. But who am I, right? As you look at those drone photos, there's several signs on the property where they're claiming they got video surveillance, but on the website that the family created, guess what? There's no such footage offered. And certainly if there had been such surveillance, there should have been something to offer to the police. But what can I say there? I'm just saying they got signs. That doesn't mean the signs were accurate. I didn't see anything looking at the pictures that showed any cameras on the corner, and I did look of any residents.
I don't know if those signs were up and there were cameras before, because I know that people were bombarding the family.
Yeah, I can't answer any of that either. I'm like I said, I just see what I see, and I'm not making any suggestions, except these are questions I would have. The next thing I see is that to get up to the property is not a stroll across the street. It's a incline.
It's an incline about like the mountain was behind our property.
Yeah, it's not a soft climb, and with 6 dogs, that raises another thing. You mean even if the little girl had walked out there by herself, those dogs would have been active. Let's be real. You would have noticed. You know what I'm saying? So that raises a question. And again, listen to my words. It raises a question. It doesn't provide answers. It raises a question. I have to feel very confident, even though the authorities are human. They do make mistakes. I would assume that being the professionals they are supposed to be, they've asked and dug into these questions. I'm kind of under the assumption that since they cleared the guy in the truck that you brought up earlier, isn't that what you read last time? They cleared him?
They just want to question him as a witness.
Okay. I'll be interested in who saw the truck and those kind of things. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answers, and I don't want to. What draws a lot of red flags was that the kids were taken away from the parents because a lot of complaints had been clearly neighbors or whoever had called the Child Protective Services and said, "Hey, you need to check on these kids." Child Protective Services, for whatever reason, had drugged their feet until this happened, and then they jumped in. So there had been issues, clearly.
Clearly some issues.
Yeah. So looking at the terrain and everything I see, according to her mother, maybe the girl walked off because she was scared of her mother. Who knows? I don't know. But the mother indicated that that child never walked off and always asked permission to do anything. So according to what the mother says, it would be extraordinary for the girl to wander off like this. But looking at the terrain, it would be, in my opinion, extraordinary for somebody to be able to get to the child on the property. Certainly, if she wandered off, somebody could snatch her up from the street. The only issue I've got with that is that can happen, but that the average person, that would be if that guy, whoever is in that pickup, just happened to be driving along and happened to see a little girl, and he was just one of those warped-minded son of a bitches that said, "Oh, look at that cute little girl, I'm gonna snatch up on her." Is that possible? Sure. I think it's improbable, but it is possible. And he would have had to stop. It wasn't like he was just driving through. He would have at some point had to stop. And again, what about those 6 fucking dogs? Let's face it, that house and that camper were not soundproof.
No. They were not.
So that's just the questions I've got. And again, I can't say, but from everything I'm reading, that even the mother of this child states is that Don was not on the property. I assume he was at work, wherever work was. And she told him, "Get home, she's missing." The boys are not referred to much, except the mother said, "Watch her," and then there's not much else said in the mother's report about the boys. The grandmother, who's also named Candace, is not referred to a lot. I'm sure she was questioned, and since the mother said she had to go tend to the Candace senior's knee brace, is that what she said?
Correct.
So I assume that grandmother was kind of convalescing in her little camper. And so she wouldn't have seen anything. If you're on a knee brace, well, look at what's going on with Kevin's dad.
Well, she was planting flowers supposedly with the mom and Summer.
before, yeah. So at some point, I guess in the planting, her knee must have started bothering her. She went to the camper, needed help putting a brace on, and the mother sent the little girl Summer to the house and said, "Hey boys, watch her. I got to take care of mother's brace."
Mm-hmm. When how long does it take to change a knee brace?
Well, I don't even think. I thought she said adjust it. I didn't think she said change it. But anyway, that's just wording, and the authorities would have questioned her heavily on all that. Um, according to what kind of knee brace it was, it could take a few minutes. I don't know. And if it's just adjusting it, I just don't know. I know that you're not going to just, whatever. Don't know the whole circumstances again. But I can see clearly why some people would come up and make accusations against the parents, or at least the mother. I can see that. But I don't have the ability to make those accusations. I can only raise a lot of questions. And where we are at this late date, are they ever find the little girl? Well, there's always a possibility. I just know that the longer the case goes, the less the potential of it ever getting solved, because how long, over a decade before the aunt disappeared, that was Candace's, the mother's sister, right? That disappeared.
Correct.
And over a decade later, never found her. So we got kind of a family history of vanishing. Does that mean that there's a murder in the family that's making these people vanish, or does it mean that it's just a coincidence that a decade earlier the mother's sister just decided to take off, and then who knows what happened to this little girl? It's a shame. I know that.
Well, what are some of the facts behind the sister?
I didn't investigate that. I just, I didn't dig into it. I was just trying to gather all the facts I could find. What was the sister's name? Let me find it again. Summer Wells at. Let's find this. Excuse me.
Rosemary Bly.
Okay. So let's see if we can find anything about Rose Marie Bly. Okay. Who is Rose Marie? She was born September 16th, 1987, as the daughter of Candace Harrer, Summer Wells' grandmother. Rose had been missing for over a decade, making her the second person in the family to disappear without a trace. At the time of her disappearance, Rose reportedly had two daughters of the age of 2. Her husband filed for divorce after she went missing, which was later approved by Wisconsin Circuit Court. Rose Marie Bly is listed to be 5 foot tall, 110 pounds. Her ex-husband was granted full custody of their daughters. So on August 21st, 2009, Rose left her home in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, to drive a few miles away to the next town over, Cushing, in order to meet her cousin at a bar. Rose reportedly told her husband at the time that she would be home before midnight, but she never made it to the bar or returned home. Her vehicle was located in a parking lot in Grantsburg 5 days after her disappearance. And Grantsburg is miles away from the town she was supposed to be in, but it's where Rose attended high school. The keys to the car were never located, and no evidence of foul play was recorded. Prior to her disappearance, Rose told her mother she fell off of a horse and was experiencing head pain. Her mother later speculated that Rose suffered brain damage and wandered off on her own, but there is no evidence to support this theory. She was 21 years old at the time she went missing. Summer Wells' father, Donald Wells, spoke to reporters about Rose and how her case has given him new fears in regards to locating his daughter. When you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope in Summer, he said. I want to keep hope, but sometimes I just lose hope and I think, well, maybe we'll never see her again. So there's the story of Rose.
Okay,
And
I have a story right here, Kelsey. Um, shoot, you know how ads pop up. It's called Summer Wells' dad says he's haunted by her aunt's decade-old disappearance. More than a decade before, old Summer Wells seemingly vanished without a trace. Her aunt also went missing and was never found. And now Summer's dad says the disappearance of Rose Bly haunted him when he thinks about his daughter.
okay, that's basically the same that we've been learning.
Basically the same thing.
The only difference, of course, the aunt was old enough to be married and have kids, and she wandered off on her own in her car. So the disappearances are not anywhere close to similar. The little girl was 5 years old, too young to do anything but walk around, and clearly did not drive off or tell her mother she was going to a bar. So I don't see a connected to. And the husband of Rose, the aunt, was not blood related to any of these people and probably had no connection to this family. I don't know. Maybe he did stay. I don't know. That'd be my next line of thought if I was going to go that route, is to say, well, did the husband who filed for divorce after Rose disappeared, did he have any connection with this family? So that would lead into a theory of, well, he could have made his wife disappear, and could he make the little girl disappear? Now we're going for a long road that you can't get anywhere with. I don't see how they connect unless Rose's husband stayed very close to Candace and that family. But he's never mentioned in investigation. He's never referred to anywhere, and that his situation with that family ended over a decade prior. So there's a possibility that they never even stayed in contact at all. So I'm not seeing anything presented that would connect the two cases, is my point.
Yeah.
Again, not impossible, just highly improbable. Anything's possible.
And then the Sunday school teacher, look her up on there and tell me what
The
at
church.
church. Yes.
Do you have the name?
Church teacher. Find some. I don't have her name. You can just Google Summer Wells
Yeah,
church
hold
teacher.
on. We're not the only ones searching that. It pops up too quick. So here we go. And WJHL Channel 11, Summer Wells Sabbath school teacher describes the night that 5-year-old disappeared. And this was reported on July the 16th of 2021 in Hawkins County, Tennessee. While 5-year-old Summer Wells remains missing, the child's Sabbath school teacher described the close bond the two share. And this was Bianca, what's her name? Robin Lane. Okay. Whenever I was helping teach Sabbath school, she was in my lap, and sometimes it was hard to teach because she wanted to be in my lap, holding me and hugging me, said Robin Lane. I just discovered that it was actually easier for me to hold her and let her love on me and hug me and teach with her on me than it was to make her sit in a chair. Lane described Summer as a loving, fun girl who enjoyed helping and putting smiles on other faces. She was a helper. She wants to help. She loves to love, and I just loved her little arms around my neck all the time. Lane said she was at her own daughter's dance recital when she received the news about Summer's disappearance. I was taking my little girl's pictures before the dance class, and I noticed I was missing calls from Summer's mom, Candace. Summer's mom never mentioned that call. Before I even had a chance to call her, she messaged me again on Facebook Messenger, and she was just in a panic mode. She said, Summer's gone. We can't find her anywhere. The police are here searching. And I said, I'll be right there. So she showed up. Mother never mentioned this girl at all in her report. This
No.
was posted. According to Lane, she arrived at Beach Creek area around 9 p.m. on June 15th, the night Summer was reported missing. I was ready. I was like, let's do this. Let's go get the flashlights out. Let's get some snacks in our bags. And it's going to be an all-nighter. And the law enforcement wouldn't even let us go up there. The police blocking the entrance to Ben Hill Road. Lane said she offered assistance the only way she could. We showed them some pictures of Summer. The police didn't have any very good pictures of her, or some of them hadn't even seen a picture of her yet. Later that night, she was granted access to the Wells home. At that point, there was really nothing I could do. They just needed someone to pray with them. You feel really helpless in that situation because you want to do something, but we couldn't. So we prayed and we hugged on them and loved the boys. And they, of course, were just shattered and just as confused as I was. So that is the report from the what they call the Sabbath school teacher, Seventh-day Adventist Church. There's your story.
And then the next person of interest was the guy that they went swimming with. Just Google Summer Wells swimming.
I got it. I'll do it. Okay, I don't want to go to YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube crap. YouTube, TikTok, even on this subject. It's a hot subject on the internet that I really hadn't paid attention to. It even goes into how many, somebody else is bringing up the dog issue here.
Yes. It's a very
So there's not much said about that. There's some video about it, but I can't find any written information about this guy or whoever she swam. Says Hunter, the 15-year-old boy,
yes.
was swimming with Summer Wells at the Horse Pond swimming hole on June 15th, the day the 5-year-old disappeared. So we can watch that video if you want to.
Yes.
All right, let's see what happened at the swimming hole. So let me share this. We can go into that. And share button. So we're getting all the information together, folks. We're not going to come to an answer. Trust me. We're just getting caught up on this Summer Wells. Somebody brought it up. So again, keep in mind that we're not making accusations. We're not coming up with a theory. We're asking questions, and we're finding reliable sources to see where things are. And we know that as of this date, which is November the what, 9th, 2022.
Yes, it is.
The girl's not been found. Nobody's found. Nobody's been charged in this case, and the family has not. The family still is under the limelight of the authorities. In other words, they've not been vindicated as far as having no involvement in this. The case is still wide open, bottom line. So let's watch this video. This has to do with interviewing this person that was swimming with Summer Wells the day of her disappearance.
I'm Chris McDonald, a retired homicide detective. I've interviewed thousands of people, from serial killers to ministers. Welcome to the interview room.
So Hunter,
What's up?
what's up, dog? How you doing?
Good, you?
Good. So, man, there's been a lot of stuff going, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, help me out. Tell me what. Tell me about that day.
The whole day?
Yeah.
So,
If you could speak up, because remember I'm deaf.
yeah.
Because why am I deaf?
I have no idea.
Because I'm old. Remember?
Yeah. I'm gonna use this as a reference.
Okay. And
So-
why is that?
It's a phone.
No. Okay, go.
I was gonna say that she texted me saying that her grandma was in the hospital.
Do you have that as text?
No, the TBI has my phone.
Got it.
I'm just using her dad's phone.
Okay.
Well,
Your grandfather didn't have
phone.
Okay. Got it.
So that day that she texted me, and she said, my grandma's in the hospital. Well, her mom's in the hospital, but we called her grandma at the time like we used to. So I called her up. I said, y'all want to come over here for a bit? Because she's going to be in the hospital for a while. Because she messed up her knee or whatever. And she said, yeah, if that's okay with Allison.
And that's mom.
Yeah, that's mom.
Okay.
And so,
But she called her Allison.
yeah, she calls her Allison.
Okay.
And so next thing you know, I tap mom because she's half asleep because she works at the time. The time she did. But what's that thing? Oh, I asked her if they could come over. She said yeah for a little bit because grandma was on her way. She was on the way. And so mom, she said it was okay, and she said she'd be over in like 5-10 minutes. And I'm telling you, I don't do good with times because I really don't look at the clock. So if I mess up sometimes, that's on me. Because I'm really bad with them times.
You're 15.
Yeah. And so she pulls up, she gets out the car with Summer, and supposedly the kids went to work with the father. And so
Now you say the kids. Who are the kids?
Wyatt and Josie,
So the boys.
yeah, the boys.
Okay, went to work with Dawn.
That's what I was told. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And so I dap everybody up. That's just how I am. So I dap her up. I said, how you doing? Because it's been a long time since I've heard from her.
Okay,
I hear from her like once in a while on Snapchat.
okay.
Well, I did until I blocked her because all this stuff that's going on.
Now tell me what it means when you say you tapped them up. What is,
Oh,
so
dap
people
her
that
up,
so people that don't know that.
like a handshake.
Okay, so yeah, so show me.
It's just like this.
What's
That's
up,
all.
dog? Or one of
That's
those,
it.
right?
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, go ahead. See, I knew that, but people don't know that. Right. So let's make that clear. So somebody can't say, "Oh, look what he did." Okay.
Yeah, then so she pulls up there in front of that mailbox.
Okay.
And so I dap her up like usual. She comes in. We're all sitting down. I ask her what happened to her grandma because she wouldn't tell me over the phone. She said that she hurt her knee because of kids. Where did she say she went on vacation for? Gatlinburg. She said she went to Gatlinburg for a little vacation with the kids, and the kids kept kicking her leg. And she has supposedly a plastic knee or something like that.
Mhm.
And so they took her to the hospital. We came in here for.
Do you know what hospital? Do you know? Not mom. Do you know?
It's the one downtown.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it's the one downtown.
Okay, mom. Do you know the name of it?
Holston Valley.
Christian Valley.
Holston Valley.
Holston Valley? Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, so she's here. Grandma's at the hospital.
Mhm.
And who's with her that
Just
day?
summer.
Just Summer.
Not
Okay.
the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay, what time do you remember? I know you're not good at times. Guesstimate.
I guess the time that we picked up the grandma
No, the time she pulls up that morning.
had to have been like around 11, right?
Okay.
Or 10 or
No, just from your memory, not from
I
mom's
think it
memory.
was at least 10 because I was up all night.
And it could be wrong too, right? Okay, so let's just kind of put that right there, okay? Because like you said, you're not good with times right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really just don't pay attention to time.
Straight up. Okay, so then what happened?
And then, like I said, I dapped up. We went inside, talked about it. And then she said, you want to go fishing summer? I said, do you care if I come with? Because it's summer. And I treated her like a little sister.
Right.
And she said, you got to ask Alex.
Okay.
But she calls her Candy or Candace. And then she calls her Allie or Allison.
Okay, so she asked you Do you want to go fishing?
No, I asked if I could come with because Summer was going.
Got it. And she says, ask your mom.
Yes.
And what did you do?
I went to ask her. She said that's fine because there's no problem with going fishing for a little bit and come back.
Sure. And what was, when you first saw Summer that day, what was your impression?
It's just how it usually is. Just like, yay, she's over here. I mean, I don't know.
What draws you to Summer and what draws her to you?
I mean, I think it's because I show her a lot of attention.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
not weird attention, but I show her attention.
No, I get it. Miss Robin shows her a lot of attention too in church.
Yeah, like I'll sit there and she'd be like, give me a piggyback ride. I'll give her a piggyback ride.
Like an older brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that
because-
kind of an older brother sister kind of vibe going here?
Yeah, that's what it was because her brothers just always used to pick on her. So I just show her how a real brother should act.
Okay.
Even though I'm not saying I'm the best brother here, you guys damn.
You should talk to my brother, man. It'd be messed up.
But it was like I was her older brother. Like they treated us like family and we treated them like family.
Okay.
At one point in time until one mess that happened with them that just split us apart and then she came that day.
Okay. So she's here, Summer's here, Candace is here. You get permission to go fishing because Summer's going fishing. And you were kind of acting like a big brother and you thought it'd be cool to go with her.
Yeah.
Do I have that accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
Okay. Not bad for an old man.
And I mean, I wanted to get out the house anyways.
Sure.
I ain't even gonna put it to her. I just wanted to get out the house.
Okay. And so what happened then?
And then her grandmother calls her and says to come pick her up when we're sitting right there.
Oh, interesting. So where are you sitting in the car?
At first, I was sitting on the front seat.
Okay.
Like,
Which way's the car pointing?
Like
do you
the
remember?
truck right now?
Just like my truck.
Yes.
Okay.
It was dead serious like that, but with like an overhead to the bed part,
Okay.
and we moved a box to the back.
Okay.
And then we moved the box to the very back, the first one where the overhead to the bed is, and then we put another one back behind like that passenger seat right there.
Okay. And where's Summer?
Summer, she is on the driver's side, in the back seat.
Okay. Was there any milk or anything like that in the car at that time?
Not until we got the price list, which was like a few hours later.
Okay, got it. Okay. Was there any other stuff in the car?
Nah, there was just boxes and like TVs in the back and
Okay.
everything.
How was Summer acting about going fishing?
Well, she gets excited because she likes to fish and swim. She's a little kid. She's energetic.
Okay. And how's she dressed? Do you remember when you first saw her?
When we first saw her, I think it was a pink little tank top or purple.
Okay.
And I don't really do good with like something that happened like 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
No, it's cool.
I can't remember having it yesterday.
It's cool. You should see me drive.
But when we left, I think she had shorts on at first.
Okay.
Yeah, because she had shorts on because her mom put her bathing suit on her.
Okay. Where did she put her bathing suit on her? Do you know?
Inside.
In the house.
Yes.
So she changed her in the house.
Yeah.
Did she take the clothes with her?
Yeah.
Miss Allison, do you know?
No,
Okay.
I don't remember.
She was dead asleep in the bathroom.
That's fine. That's fine. So she changes her clothes here and she takes her clothes with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happened?
But then, when she got changed from swimming, they had bought her an outfit to put on because they were supposed to go to Jonesboro, I think. Yeah, Jonesboro for this big park, like water park.
Okay. So that was the initial thought?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
So what did you think was going to happen?
I thought we was just all gonna go fishing, swimming.
And then in the truck, she changes the plan?
Nah, she changes it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Say it again?
She changed it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Oh, okay. So so from here, where do you guys go?
From here, we go to the hospital.
Okay.
Pick up her mother.
Pick up grandma.
Not even like 10 minutes later,
Okay.
we go to Walgreens.
Is that near the hospital?
No, it's on Fort Henry Drive.
Okay, so it's the Walgreens by the Warrior Park.
Yeah.
That one as you come out and it's right there.
Yes.
Okay, not bad for an old man, huh?
No, not really.
Not bad, not bad. I'm cooking here.
So there's a. So we went there,
You go there first
and then
after you pick up grandma.
yeah,
Then what happened?
and then we put this prescription in,
Okay.
which is like probably about like 10, 15 minutes. Because
Do you know what kind of drugs?
No, I have no idea. She
Oh.
wouldn't say the name to it.
Got it.
And then we handed a prescription. They said about like 10, 15. Well, it was gonna be 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I was saying the line was long
Okay.
because you have
Who went inside the store?
Nobody went in. We went through the drive-thru.
Got it.
And then while we were in the drive-thru, her husband calls her talking about this dude named on the property that's been there for like a week or so. She told me that keeps stalking other kids.
Who's that?
Some dude named like I have no idea who it was.
Okay. And why did Don call?
I have no idea. He just called. I don't even know if he was working at the time.
Okay.
But if he was working, he obviously wouldn't know that there was some dude looking at the little kids
So this dude named Don calls Candace.
and tells her about. I don't know if his name was.
And tell me about that conversation.
All I heard was.
And how did you hear it?
I heard because I asked her why he called me.
Okay.
The only thing that she told me from the phone call is that there was some dude, whatever it was, just the name.
Okay.
That's all I remember. Is that he's been up on the property for a week or two, trying to like, I guess she said, touch the little kids. That's what I was told.
He's trying to have what?
Touch the little kids.
Touch the kids?
Like give him a hug or something. I don't know.
What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I mean, it could be because she's had this. Name was Billy, right? Yes, Billy. Billy was up there doing that stuff until we got arrested.
And Billy is the brother,
No.
the son.
Nope.
No.
Billy was an old drunk.
An
He's
old
what?
drunk.
He was an old drunk that was a friend of theirs that used to get in arguments with his wife.
And go
His
up to
wife
their
would
house.
take him out, and he would go up there and sleep in one of the sheds on the property.
Got it. And who was Billy trying to touch?
Well, Billy had the hots for grandma.
The grandma.
Got it. But what about the kids?
Oh no, he wasn't around the little kids. His mom wouldn't allow that with their mom.
So why would Don, in your opinion, call Candace while you're in the line at Walgreens to say there's some dude on the property wanting to touch the kids? Help me understand that.
I mean, at first I thought because he calls her like every 2 hours because he works.
Okay.
I thought he was just doing his daily checkup.
Okay.
But then she told me about that. I was like, how does he even know that if he's supposedly working?
And what did she say?
I didn't say that. I was just
Oh.
saying in my mind.
And in your mind, what did you come to? What did you deduct?
Deduct. I thought that was just suspicious.
Really?
Yeah, and then later when she called me and told me that happened, I was with my girl at the time, just hanging over in Bristol at a park.
Okay.
She calls me while we pull up to that park. This is that Summer's missing.
So who were you kicking it with at the park?
Oh, just my girl.
Okay, just
And her
you guys.
mom and her brothers and her sister.
Okay, straight up.
That was just it with our entire family. Because weren't you at the ball field? Yep, she was at the ball field.
Okay, so before we get there, let's go back to the drive-through at
Drive-thru.
Walgreens. Then what happened?
Then we went, well, she had to go get cigarettes because her mom complains of cigarettes all the time.
Where'd she get the cigarettes?
All right, so you know that Walgreens, right?
Yeah.
So there's this like daycare around there somewhere. It's
Yeah.
called like Kitty College.
Yeah, I saw that on the side, on the right.
Yeah, so there's a discount tobacco store
Got it.
by I guess that place. I think it's by that McDonald's maybe
Okay,
and KFC. No, it's up by Long John Silver's.
okay.
It's like right across from it.
And where's Grandma sitting in the car?
No, she's sitting on the passenger side where she was sitting.
Okay. And where are you and where is Summer?
Summer was sitting on the like Okay, so you know how there's like 3 seats in the back?
Behind Grandma or behind Candace?
Oh, she's sitting in the middle of it all.
And why is she sitting in the middle at this point?
Because I asked to sit on the side because her grandma just got out of the hospital and she was like, let me sit in the passenger seat. I said, okay. So I sat behind her mom.
Okay, got it. So then what happens? She goes and buys cigarettes?
And
Who gets out of the car?
Just Candace.
Just Candy? Do you call her Candy?
No, I call her Candace.
Candice?
Yeah.
Okay. Is her nickname Candy though?
No, that's her mother's nickname.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Candace gets out.
Gets out. She goes grabs cigarettes. She buys a puff bar. She buys
A what?
a puff bar. It's
Oh, okay.
a little nicotine vape.
Got it.
I don't know if everybody else knows that, but it's a nicotine vape.
Got it. What color was it?
It was black and purple.
Okay. Was there a blue one?
Blue one? Yeah, that one was hers.
That's hers.
Yeah, because she got a blue Skittles one.
Okay. Then what happened?
And then she bought the Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea. How many?
Just one.
Just one. And bottle or can?
I think like it's a can. If I could get a picture real quick, I'll show you what it looks like.
All right. Go ahead.
It's a whole can, if I'm correct. I just know that they have to have done something because she did not walk off of that property. That's all I know. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay. So let me.
Okay, I'm going to stop that for a minute. Do you hear what we're hearing here, Pat? You got your muted if you're listening.
I do hear what we're hearing.
But a lot of more. This is a pretty lengthy interview. Let me see how long it is. It's 50 minutes long. But it's very interesting. There's things that we have not learned before. This is the guy that was the one that went swimming with her, and there's more involved in that than just swimming. And interesting, and even this young kid, who I think is about 15, 16 years old here, according to what I've read, was suspicious because the father's supposed to be at work. They had picked up the grandmother from the hospital because of the knee thing, and had gone through Walgreens drive-through to get her prescription filled. And while they're there, the father, even though he's not at home, is calling the mother and warning her about somebody allegedly on the property touching kids. That don't sound reasonable at all, does it?
It does not.
I mean, first of all, like the kid says, how would he know? If he's at work, it just does not fit. And even a teenager is like, this don't seem right. So again, we get more questions. This guy that's doing this interview here has a YouTube channel, and he clearly is doing a very in-depth interview with this guy. Learned a lot here. We've been on 2.5 hours.
Yes.
What do you think, guys? We got watchers. Do you want to watch the rest of this? You want me to let it play until this finishes?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to get it to playing, and I'm going to lay back and let it play. I had to throw that in. There's a lot of interesting things being shared here, I think, that raises even more questions. Okay, folks, we got another 30 minutes of this interview, roughly. So sit back and see what else we learn here.
Show this right there, Twisted Tea in a yellow container. Okay. Okay, cool. You get the twist. She buys
just one.
One. I don't want to mess up your phone, bro. Okay, so then what happens?
Then after that, we go to the horse stable part.
So you drive to the horse stable.
Straight to the horse stable.
Right from there, you go right to the horse. Where's Grandma at this point?
Grandma, she just sitting in the car on the phone.
You got the discount store, and you head right to the water park. Okay, walk me through what Summer's doing at that moment.
Well, at that moment, she was holding my hand like this, like with her arms wrapped around, because she gets cold when the window's down, and so it was down. And we were just watching TikTok.
So she's snuggling with you.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, and you're watching TikTok videos. Which ones did you watch?
I don't even know. I just scrolled through the thing. To be
Okay,
honest.
okay. Was she laughing?
Yeah, of course.
She seemed. Was she seemed?
Perfectly fine.
She seemed normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that call that Candace got from Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that call again.
The call. So, where her phone is in the middle of the truck. You know the console part.
Okay.
It was right there, and he called, and she said everybody be quiet. So we all was quiet. Her mom was going through her phone. I turned my phone off till she was done to see if I could listen in on anything suspicious or anything. And then after she got off, I go, "What do you call about?" She goes, "There's been this dude. I know it starts with an for sure. I just can't figure out the rest of it."
Okay, so you're at now. Summer is you're watching TikTok videos. She's acting normal. Is she in her bathing suit at this point? Because she'd been changed at the house.
Yeah,
or,
she is.
if you remember.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Though.
No, you're not. It's
Okay.
chill.
Then what happens? From there, you guys go where?
From the drugstore?
Yeah.
We got to that place by the stables.
Okay, and you say that place is that the swimming hole?
I don't even know if it's allowed to be called a swimming hole. That's why I call it that place.
Got it. Straight up. Now, is this Warrior Park?
No, it's not in Warriors Park. It's at the stables, the horse stables.
Yes, sir.
Warriors Horse Stables or whatever they're called.
Okay, got it. And is this where you guys got out and went swimming?
Yeah, that little hole.
At some point, where she give you something?
Yeah, that Twisted Tea.
And when did she give you that?
As soon as we got out the car.
Right, as soon as you got down there? And did she have one?
No.
Did she have any alcohol?
No, because she had to drive.
Okay, so she gives you the alcohol.
Yeah.
Did you ask for it?
Not until after she got it.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
I ain't gonna lie.
No, okay. So after she bought it, you said, "Hey, can I have that?"
Yeah, she just said yeah.
And she just kicked it onto you, gave it to you.
She does that. You can ask her.
Okay, well, I'll ask you because you're the one. If she handed it to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the
vape.
yeah, the vape?
Oh, we was both hitting it.
Okay. And is that do you do that a lot?
What vape?
Yeah.
I mean, when I have them, yeah.
Okay.
There's just like nicotine vapes.
Okay. Don't vape, man.
She said
Okay.
vape.
All right. No more vaping. Okay. Mom, no vaping over here.
Yeah, no baby.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Okay. So from there, what happened? Or at that moment, what happens? Do you go in the water first, or who
No,
goes in the
so
water?
Summer was in the water because I was drinking the tea at the time.
Got it. Where were you at?
I was just standing around. Me and her mom was watching
What are you talking about?
TikTok. Like she was on TikTok looking at funny videos.
Okay.
And then she was looking through Facebook. We just have like our normal conversation.
And like what?
Like we just talk about what we've done the past week, how long we haven't seen each other for. That's just what we just mainly do. Just hang out.
Okay. Does she like you?
No.
Not
She
in
has a
that way?
husband. She has a husband.
Okay, but in that way, does she like you?
No.
Did you get that vibe at all?
Nah, she just treated me like her adopted son. If I
Okay.
can say that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And from there, where's Grandma at this point?
She was still in the car because she had a call to get her phone turned on.
Okay, whose phone is she using?
She's using her phone.
Okay, but it's turned off.
No, her phone's not turned off. I
Oh.
was saying like it's not turned all the way off. Like there's like no minutes to it.
Got it. So she's got one of the like burner phones,
No,
load
she has a
minutes to
straight
it.
talk. She has a straight talk phone. She had to
Got it.
call straight talk to put money in it,
Got it.
so she got minutes for the rest
A
of
lot
the
of senior citizens use those.
Yeah.
Do you think I need one?
What straight talk phone?
Don't answer that, Hunter.
Our grandma does though.
Oh,
Free phone.
there you go. There you go.
I mean, it's still a government phone.
There you go. Okay, straight up. So she's in the car. You're with Candace. Summer's in the water. Walk me through that. What do you see happening?
See happening? I just see her swimming like usual.
How far out is she?
Okay, so you got that TikTok on your phone or something? Because I want to show them precisely
Okay.
the exact how far she goes.
Okay. And who took this TikTok?
Her mother.
Candace.
I mean, you might see me throw up a gang sign, but
Did you take a TikTok?
I'll do TikToks.
Okay. Did you do pictures? You do Instagram, Twitter?
I mean, I do pictures with my girl, but that's it.
Right. Did you do a picture with her, with Summer that day?
Nah, she was just taking a video.
Candace was.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took a whole video of all of us over there.
Okay. Who's all of us?
Me, her mom, and someone.
Got it. So mom gets out of the car at some point?
Yeah, at some point, I don't even know what point that is.
Okay, that's cool.
She just gets out the car when she's done with the phone, and then they tell me about that water park.
Okay, so you see a point where Summer is underwater.
For like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay, walk me through that.
And so I'll go in calm as heck because I know she might just be messing around.
Did you
like
think
usually
she
does.
was injured?
No,
Could she have been?
She could have been. I mean,
Help me understand that.
I mean, she could have been when she got back into the car, like how the water gets through your lungs and everything else.
Okay.
And how she was in the hot car while they went to the stores and everything.
Okay, so let's go from the moment you see her, and what did you do?
I just throw my shirt down and just threw myself into that water to see if she's okay.
Okay, so you got scared.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, walk me through those emotions.
I was just like, I don't really get scared or nothing, to be honest. I just get a little bit like spooked.
Got it.
Spooked.
Okay.
Like, how do I put that? Like, spooked. Like, I get a little bit like shook for a second.
Right.
That's it.
She got nervous.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And did you call her?
Yeah, I was like, Summer, but I don't know if you can hear underwater like that.
So
or something.
can you see her underwater?
No, yeah, you can see her. I could see her. It's just that I was wanting to make sure that she was okay.
Got it, straight up. And what happened?
I just pull her up, bring her over my shoulders. I say, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah."
Did she spit up water or
She
anything?
did spit up water.
Was she laughing?
She was just laughing. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just saying because after the effect of that, because it was a short period of time
Right.
before they dropped me off that she said that she was missing.
Got it, straight up. So in that moment where she's in the water, how much time do you think, just a guesstimate, between the moment you saw her underwater and the moment you got her up out of the water?
At least like 4 seconds.
Okay, 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So what was Candace doing when Summer was under the water?
Talking to her mom,
And what was the grandma doing?
talking back, looking for flowers.
What do you mean?
She always picks flowers everywhere she goes, or rocks.
So are they looking for flowers?
No, she was talking about there were flowers one day that she wanted that they were there. I guess they go there every time now. I don't know.
Okay.
But them flowers, she said that they were very pretty flowers and that she wished she could pick some of them.
Okay.
I guess that was what they was talking about before I went to go grab her.
Okay. But then you noticed Summer.
Yeah.
Were you concentrating on Summer
Yeah. I
while
was,
drinking the tea?
yeah, I was staying focused on her mainly.
So you're kind of like the lifeguard.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, or I mean,
No,
correct?
you're correct. You're correct.
Okay,
I pay attention. I might not see. I could be staring that way, but still see you.
got it. I do the same thing. Okay.
I just keep an eye on like what I observe things more often than people do.
You're street smart.
Yeah,
You're wise, because you never know, right?
that's why I've noticed that before you even told me.
I know somebody could walk up on you and boom, next thing you know it, right? Right. So you're watching her. She's underwater or goes underwater. Did you see her go underwater?
No, I didn't see her go underwater because she was showing me a TikTok that she done with the dogs and the dirt bikes.
Got it. Candace
at the
was.
time. Yeah.
So your focus was on the TikTok.
For
That
a
can-
second there, but then when I turned my eye that way, I just seen that. I don't know how long she could have been under there for, but I just seen her under the water and I didn't see her come back up, so
Okay.
it kind of shook me. So I was gonna go see if she was okay.
So you went in.
Yeah.
Okay. You went in to rescue her.
It could have been longer. It could have been shorter. She could have just went under there at that point. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
So you went in to rescue her.
See if she was okay. Yeah.
And did you get her out?
Yeah, I got her out.
Okay.
And then not even like 15 minutes later, we went to grab that prescription that she needed.
Okay. How was she when she got out? Did she walk back to the car?
Yeah, she would walk back to the car.
She seemed normal?
She just seemed perfectly fine.
Okay. She seemed like Summer?
Yeah. Mainly.
Did it seem like there was anything wrong with her being under that water?
Not really, but you got to think as a little kid swimming, it can tire you out easily.
True.
So I don't know if she could have been sleeping when they dropped me off because I thought she was awake.
Okay. So from the water hole now, or I'll call it a water hole,
From the water hole,
where do you go?
we go to this thing called Hippie House.
Hippie House?
And they sell like THC, CBD, the
Got
vapes.
Got it. So she's going to cop like another vape, or is she
Yeah,
buying CBD?
She was gonna go in there to see what was in there because it just had opened.
Okay, so you get there to that house. It's called the Hippie House?
Yeah, it's literally. So you know how you come up from what's it called? The Warriors.
Yeah.
You know how you come up? There's like a few places on the side here. There.
Yes, sir.
There's a hippie house. Like they used to go to this one. It's
Okay.
it's another tobacco store. I don't know. Who
Okay.
it is. It's probably one of the neighbors. It's another tobacco store.
Okay,
But she used to go to it. It's down there.
right?
Mom, where's that tobacco store? No, not that one. The other one.
Hippie house.
Not the hippie house. The tobacco store. The
Thanks,
one that's
Grandma.
down by Warriors.
I don't know the name of that one.
No, which one I'm talking about? The white one.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll find it.
But it's
So
it's
what is
white.
she? Did you go in?
No, I can't go in. I'm under.
Well, who went in?
Her and her mother.
And that left you and Summer. Was she talking to you?
Cause I would have the phone here and I'd make her swipe there because I don't really watch TikTok. I don't really like to do anything with camera on.
What was Summer talking about?
She was talking about LOLs because she likes a new thing. Her mom was talking about she done grew out of Frozen. Now she wants all these LOLs.
What's LOL? Laugh out loud?
Yeah,
No,
they're like
it's
little
some kind of
surprise
dolls.
dolls.
Little dolls.
Okay. Which ones was she watching?
She was just watching. If I can remember it. No, she wasn't doing that. I was just saying she was talking about that.
Got it.
But she was mainly watching Poppets.
Okay.
I'll show you what that is, because we got one.
Oh, Poppets. You see why somebody would be involved in this thing.
Yeah, I
Right
just
here.
mess with them because I have impulsive ADHD.
Okay, so she likes these.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of her favorite toys.
No, it's something that she just got into.
Got
See
it.
over there?
Because she was
Looks like
scrolling
it.
through that. I told you Miss Johnny May was fixing to leave. All right, now
Miss Johnny was over there.
let us go.
So she likes these.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're in the CBD store. How long were they in there?
Like 5 minutes
Okay.
tops.
And then what happened?
And then she came out with 2 babes. She came out with hers and then another one she gave me.
She gave you one,
Mhm.
another one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what took place then?
And then we went to grab that prescription.
That's when you went to the prescription
Yes.
at Walgreens
hmm
because it was ready.
Yeah.
Okay. How long do you think it took for that prescription to get ready?
They said 35 minutes.
Okay.
So we could have been, that could have all took 35 minutes or more.
And then what happened when did somebody go into the store or did you go
No,
through drive-through again?
Drive through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
The same. Well, I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
Got it. So she's sitting on a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
The baby is.
Yeah.
Summer. Okay. Where's that pillow now? Do you know?
The pillow now.
Yeah, the pillow.
I don't even know. I haven't been up to their house in like over a year. To be
Okay.
honest with you.
No, that's cool. So from there, where do you guys go?
From there, we go to Sonic.
Where?
Sonic.
Sonic. And what did you get at Sonic?
Slushies. Like a blueberry slushie.
Okay.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an orange one, and Summer got the same blueberry one.
So they bought a slushie at Sonic.
The one down, not by your Walmart, but the other one.
Okay. So now where's that Sonic at?
Fort Henry Drive.
Okay, got it.
Before Walmart.
Okay, so from there, did you drink? Did they eat them there? Did you guys eat them there?
No, we ate them on the way to
After
Priceless.
Walmart.
Okay, so you eat the slushes all the way to what's it called?
Priceless.
Priceless. Okay, where's that at?
Ask her. I really don't do good with like.
Do you know where that's at, Miss? Okay,
It's the one that she goes to by the liquor store.
okay,
It's down.
It's down before you hit her
It's down.
road.
It's like almost across from J&J Auto.
okay. And then
No, that's one. That's
who goes into the store?
Her and her mother again.
Okay, so Candace and her mom go in the store again. And that left you and Summer in the car.
Yeah.
And what are you guys doing?
Just still watching TikToks, listening to music. I mean, just sitting there watching TikToks mainly.
Is she lethargic? Is she, do you notice anything unusual about her?
I didn't know. I just seen that her hair was cut. That was it.
Yeah, but that, when did you notice that, right?
That was like when we first saw her.
Right, when you first, right. I mean, but at that moment, are you noticing anything unusual going down?
Not really.
Okay, when you say not really, what does that mean?
Like not in general, no.
And then what happens from there?
From there, I think they was in the store for an hour maybe.
Okay, they were in the store for a long time.
Yeah, a little bit long, but not that long.
And what did they get?
So they got groceries for the house. I don't know what all they got. All I seen was what was beside of us, the milks.
Okay, and where did the orange soda come from?
The orange
Next
soda.
to Summer on the seat.
The orange soda. Orange soda. I'm really trying to think on that one. I forgot there was orange soda.
There is an orange soda on the seat in the TikTok video.
TikTok video.
Yeah, and the video that somebody took of her in the car.
There was also Skittles or something, some kind of candy.
And then what about the candy on the seat?
That was her candy. Because her grandma done bought it for her in the store.
Okay, so from there, now you have this, they come back to the car. Where's the milk come in?
The milk. Oh, when they had to put everything in the bed of the truck. You know, like the back of the truck.
Mhm.
I call it a truck bed because it is a truck bed.
Okay. But there's a picture of Summer leaning against the milk bottles.
Yeah, they put them there. Well, I think I put them there in the middle because there's no room on the other side of me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I put them there because she was sitting by the window, and then
Was she sleeping?
no, she wasn't even sleeping at the time.
Okay.
I just set them in the middle because if they were to fall and spill, it would be on me, and I don't feel like cleaning up no truck mess.
Okay. It looks like she's against the door though, in that picture.
I wasn't there when that picture was took.
Oh, okay. When did they take that picture? Do you know?
I have no
I
idea.
believe the one with the milk jugs was sitting right here in front of my house because that's exactly how that baby was before they left.
Okay. Well, when you were in the car, where'd they put the milk?
Well, they gave it to me,
They gave it to you.
not
And-
like not to keep, but to
No,
like
to put it away.
yeah.
And where did you put it?
I had it sitting on my lap until we got out the car.
Got it. And out here?
Yeah, out here.
Okay.
And
And
she pulled up like your truck now, like where it's at right now.
right.
But the opposite around.
Got it. So it's facing that way.
Yeah.
And you're getting out on this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to. Did she even get out the car or did I? I thought she got out the car too. I don't even remember that.
Okay. At some point, how did the milk bottles get on the other side of her? Do you know?
I have no idea then because she said that she was sleeping on the door. But when I got out the car, she wasn't even at the door. She was in the middle.
Was she sleeping on you?
Nah.
Was she asleep?
I didn't even see her sleep. I just got out the car because she wanted to talk to her
Okay. Got it.
about that thing for that Friday, the water park.
Got it. But where's Summer?
She was still in the middle. I wasn't really paying attention to her, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. That's cool.
I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I just wanted to go inside. Or just wanted my girl to come over here bit. That's
Sure.
the whole point.
Is Summer hurt by this point, you think?
I don't
From the
think
water?
so. I mean, she could have been. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to her.
Then what happens when you get out of the car?
When I get out the car, when I get out the car, I go to the front because she had to hand me that other vape that she gave me.
Got it.
And then I showed Mom at that door.
Okay.
And that was it.
And this is when you saw Summer in the back. How did the milk get rearranged?
I have no idea.
See?
I mean, I could have said I'm there when I got out the car.
That's fine.
But I'm telling you now, I really don't remember anything but talking to her
Got
at
it.
that point.
No problem. What do you think, Miss Allison? How's that milk get rearranged?
I don't know. That milk was there when they pulled up like that.
Okay, but Hunter had the milk in the middle.
In the middle.
And so now the milk's on the other side of Summer. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't either. And that's why I'm asking.
I don't even remember how I got out the car. That's the funny part.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
thought I was totally sitting in the middle the entire time, but I guess not.
Now, did Candace then, let's fast forward.
Mhm.
We'll come back to that later. There's going to be a lot of questions about that, though. I'll give you a heads up, okay? A lot of folks are going to ask about, well, how'd that happen, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you, a heads up on that, okay? Just so you know, okay?
Got you.
Now, straight up, though, from there now, you're here.
hmm
When's the next time Candace contacts you?
Around 7:30 that day.
That night. And where were you at that time?
I was over at the park in Bristol with my girl.
Hanging out with your girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and what happens? Tell me about that.
So she called me saying that someone's missing.
Okay,
I thought she's pulling the leg because she's known to do that.
okay. Why would she mess around with her daughter missing, though? What struck you about that?
I mean, it's just, we explain how she does when she gets drunk. She tends to, when she gets drunk and high at the same time.
Yep.
She tends to think that she loses the kids, but they're out front in the yard. That's what I was thinking.
Got it. So this is something that's happened in the past. And-
No, she hasn't went missing. It's just that she got high and drunk and forgot that Summer was outside.
Got it. Straight up. What did she tell you?
She was like, Summer's missing. So I was just like, okay, well, why don't you just go look outside? She says, I have been. She ain't there. I said, well, call Allie then, because I don't know if she's still pulling a leg. Because if I tell her to call Allie, she'll call me back. And then I'll call Mom and be like, did she tell you this? Or was she just messing around?
Got it. So you call your mom
Yeah, I call her on Facebook after she picks up.
and gave her a heads up that
Candace was going to call.
Candace going to call her and tell her that Summer's missing. Straight up. So at that point, does she call you again? Just that night?
Nah, she called me the next day saying that she's sitting in the police station.
She's sitting in the police station?
Yeah.
And what does she say about that?
She says they want to do another polygraph test on me.
Another polygraph test?
Yeah.
How many polygraph tests did they do that you know of?
I just know two.
Two?
Yeah.
And how did she do on those polygraphs? Did she tell you?
She did not tell me. She just said she had to do that, and I just ignored her the rest of the time.
Okay.
Because they told me not to even get contact of her.
Got it. The police told you don't contact her.
No, the TBI told me.
TBI, don't contact her.
Well, it's some funny crap how they tell me. I'm not dissing them or nothing. I'm just saying how they tell me that I'm going to get my phone that Monday afternoon, and it's been almost 2 months straight now.
Okay.
Month. It's been a month.
Okay. Well, they're just trying to line up your story.
I understand that.
And that's
just
important, right? I mean, you know that.
Yeah, it's just that
For Summer.
I gave them all the proof that would line up the story.
I totally agree. Okay. But at the same time, the investigation's fluid.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
facts.
So I know where your heart is for Summer. And so as a result of that, they're going to hold on to that phone and they're going to connect all those dots. And that's the right thing to do, right? Would you agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that said, no. She contacts you again, says she's at the police station, has to take another polygraph.
And then she shows up the next day.
The next day she shows up where?
Here, this you not.
Well, so you were interviewed by TBI on Wednesday. She came here Thursday,
So 2 days after or a day after?
2 days after.
And then what happened when she got here?
She got here. She was like telling me how she talked to them and was like, don't mention about the alcohol, but I didn't mention it.
Did she say what she told them?
No. But she started asking me. I just told them what happened on the timeline.
And what did she say?
She said, okay, that better be it. I said, you didn't even scare me.
Well, why would she try to scare you?
That's what I'm saying. Why was she trying to even ask questions about it?
What's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is that she had something to do with it. But then when all this happened, she just wanted the money in the end because I'm not going to say names, but one of Red's friends, my girlfriend's mother's friends, was on Beach Creek just riding around, and she seen, as soon as someone posted a $25,000 reward, she seen her car, Candace's car, zooming down the road to the Hawkins County Police Station.
So what? What does that mean?
I mean, she supposedly the next day they gave, it was on Facebook that it was a tip.
Got it.
I was gonna say, if that was my daughter, I would have everything to do with it. I wouldn't be sitting at the house trying to get money, trying to just collect dust. I'm gonna be sitting there doing everything in my power.
What do you think happened to Summer?
To be honest with you, her grandma was out of her mind. Like, you guys, them. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying they have to be in the camera.
Understand?
But I'm saying you can ask them that her mother's usually grumpy, controlling, like a regular grandma, like her. I'm not trying to be mean. But you know how grandmas can be, like grumpy, controlling, trying to run everything.
What do you think should happen to the person that did this to Summer?
Person that did this,
Yeah.
they should be locked up for a very long time.
Why do you say that?
Because that's like my little sister. And I say that because she's just not the type of girl to go from the swing that's up there.
Okay. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you think is important that you would want to tell, to get your side of the story out here?
I mean, I would say this, but I don't care if the camera's on or not.
No,
I mean,
the camera's on.
I don't really care, to be honest, with the camera. But that the second day she came, she went to the car either to grab something or something, but I grabbed her phone because I wanted to see if she had anything to hide. Like you said, I'm street smart. I'm very observant.
Yes, you are.
Like, I would notice anything. Like, you wouldn't even have to tell me. I still notice the mic on you.
Right. No, I respect that.
It's just how I am. It's just, if you're going to leave something on the table, and I know that you probably got something to hide because of the way you're acting.
Yep.
And the way you call me, of course, I'm going to look through your phone.
Sure.
So she goes through her car, goes on the other side. I act like I'm grabbing my phone because they're just about the same.
Right. So you play it like.
So I put mine where hers was.
Got it.
And so I grabbed her phone. And see, I'm good with tech. I know where everything you can hide is. And so I went through her Google Photos, if that's what you want to call it.
Okay.
The gallery part.
Okay.
And so where you can delete things, they don't just delete, they go to your trash. I don't know if people know that or not, but they go to your trash.
Okay.
I know that because I mess around with tech every day.
Right. You need to go into IT, bro. Right there. Go ahead.
And so when I looked in there, I seen 13 messages between her and her drug. I'm gonna say drug dealer because he is. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to name his name, but yeah, all I seen was the first message before she started walking up to the mailbox to get up here is that it was done, and I was gonna read the next message of what she said, and she just started running up here, and I literally just slid my phone in my pocket and just put hers there. It's like she asked me if I went through her phone. I said no. Why? Because I cleared it all out before she can get up here.
Did you tell TBI all this?
Yeah, I told them.
Okay.
Second time.
And they told you to keep it quiet on
No,
this piece?
They didn't tell me to really keep anything quiet.
Okay.
It's just that I'm not allowed to go on like lives without her, like international television.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
don't lie.
it's
Don't
not
lie.
It's not
No,
my permission.
Yeah, no,
it's
straight up.
hers.
You don't want that, Hunter, right? Because
Sure.
then everybody's going to put, they're going to put a lot on you. You know what I mean? You don't want that. So what was your gut feeling when you read that it's done?
My gut feeling was that either they had something to do with it.
Who's
or
they?
Her.
Okay.
Or it was all of them together, like every single one of them in a family.
Where do you think Don was at work that day?
From what I've heard from the TBI, he was not at work.
No, I'm not talking about from TBI. What you know?
But what I know is I thought he was at work because I used to work with him. I ain't gonna lie, I used to work with him on houses.
Okay, and what did TBI tell you then at that point?
Well, I was like, I asked him if he was at work.
And what they say?
They said that the people they did not clarify that.
Okay, so they didn't verify it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't mean he wasn't. They just didn't verify it, right? Potentially.
No, they called up and asked to see if he was.
Why would they want to hurt Summer?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't, because Summer doesn't really do nothing but just like mess around like I do. I like to mess around with people.
Okay. Any other things you can think of?
Not really.
Have I treated it with respect?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not.
Okay. Interesting. And this was done a year ago, that interview. I mean, that brought up a lot of things there.
That it did.
So, number one, I want to make very clear we're not one of those channels that dig into stuff like this and start making conspiracy theories. We look for facts and then we just present the facts without making accusations. We talk about possible, right now the case is still wide open. This is the Summer Wells case out of Rogersville, Tennessee. A lot of people know about that. This was an interview that a retired investigator had given to at the time, I think he was 15 years old, had spent the day with Summer and her mother and her grandmother the day that she disappeared. They'd gone swimming and some other activities throughout the day. Now, what that interview presented was very interesting, and the young man, he was very suspicious of the parents, and that's what I get. What'd you get out of it, Catherine?
Yes, I got that. He was very suspicious of them. But I also see that he was kind of set up.
Who was kind of set up? I'm sorry.
The kid. I feel that the kid was set up with the alcohol, the nicotine, the.
Oh, they were. The mother was providing him with a lot of things that he was too young to have. Is that what you're saying? So I don't know. I don't see that ties in. I think it speaks of the mentality of the mother. I mean, clearly she was. The husband was locked up for DUI, so they were substance abuse people, and so I don't think that speaks to the case itself personally, outside just kind of telling you the character of the people. I don't know. I just found that interview super fascinating from the eyes of that 15-year-old who spent the last day with Summer, with Summer's mother and Summer's grandmother, correct?
Correct.
And what he saw and what he felt and whatnot. And he clearly stated that there was a lot of things that he was suspicious of that day. Number one, that while they were in the Walgreens drive-through to pick up a prescription because the grandmother had injured her knee, that Don, the father, had called Candace on the phone and said, "Oh, there's a man on the property that's touching kids." That don't even sound right. I mean, what? That sounds like, if you want to talk about a setup, that sounds like a setup.
Correct.
That unknown person thing. And anyway, the case has not been solved. You go back and listen to that interview if you missed it. It's almost an hour-long interview. I don't regret hearing it because we dug into case tonight. We started out with one thing and ended up do a suggestion of Carol Maine about summer whales, Rogersville, Tennessee. Interesting case. I'd never dug into it. Tonight, we got educated about it. And over a year later, it's still unresolved. Summer whales has not been found. No body, no living or dead summer whales anywhere has been identified. No charges on anybody, no arrest been made. And so the case is still wide open. So this leads us to tomorrow. And what did you want to do about this tomorrow?
I think we're going to dig a little deeper and see what else we can find on summer wells,
Okay.
and maybe do a spirit box session to see if we can get anything from the spirit box.
Well, we're going to do that, folks. Thanks for joining. This has been the longest that we have broadcast this, with 3 hours. And thank you for joining, whoever is out there, and share this. Like, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Abnormal Alabama on YouTube. TikTok, Catherine.
Abnormal Alabama Catherine.
And Facebook, Abnormal Alabama on Facebook. Thank you all. We're going to say good night. We got a busy few days coming up, and Catherine's still going to try to do this every night. So hang in there, folks, and have a wonderful, blessed night. Peace and freaking love.
Peace and good night.